We are back. How's everyone doing? I hope you had a great long weekend if you did.
Hello, hello, everyone.
Oh no.
We are
Kick,
back.
please.
How's everyone doing? I hope you had a great.
Absolutely despise. I know I say this all the time, but I absolutely despise that Kick's creator dashboard automatically starts playing my stream because I have it open so I can modify info about what's going on the stream, and if I forget, it'll just start playing. And we get that echo. But in any case, I hope everyone had a great Labor Day. As usual, I have my tea. Made some peach tea today. Still quite hot, so we'll give it a minute. Surprisingly, actually, I don't have some iced tea, which I expected to because over the weekend I had causes to make two pitchers for two different groups of friends. And normally I end up with some amount of extra. They don't drink the whole pitcher. All right, fine, whatever. But in this case, ended up actually giving the rest of it to my friends. So I made some Thai tea, which would have been nice to have, but they like it so much, and I only really ever make the Thai tea for them. I was like, you know what, let me give the rest to them. And then I also made some of that blue tea that I had on stream a little while ago that Amazon King got me with that pea flower chamomile lemongrass tea, and left the rest of that with my friends as well. So it's a little surprising to me that I don't have iced tea right now, but we got some hot tea, and that's great. I decided to take yesterday off because it was Labor Day. You should that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. That's all of it. That's the whole point. And it's kind of interesting to me now, Labor Day, because it's a it's a holiday that didn't matter very much to me growing up. It was just like, okay, I guess like a day off of school or whatever. Like nobody really paid that much attention to what it was. Or nobody taught me what it was about. It was just like it's Labor Day. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? About as much relevance as someone saying it's Arbor Day or it's Boxing Day. I don't know what those are. For Arbor Day, no one's ever told me, and for Boxing Day, well, I'm American. We don't do that here. But more recently, Labor Day has become more and more important to me. Not like I don't like have solemn observances of Labor Day or anything. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's a holiday whose importance is undervalued, and it'd be good to talk about what it's about because it's supposed to be a celebration of labor and unions. And so I think it would be a good idea in honor of Labor Day to go over some of the things that unions have done and the positive that we enjoy because of them. Given that this is, that's the day for it, right? I'm not saying this should be like a tradition you do every year or whatever, but like it's a good idea to reappraise yourself. So let's do that for a little bit. Just it won't take very long. This is according to uh, UFCW. Uh, but yeah, this is a pretty short article, but let's go through it. Despite what many CEOs and right-wing politicians may say, hell yeah, Campbell. Yeah, Pro Workers Day. Workers are awesome. All right, labor is what builds everything, and we got to celebrate it. Not the people on top, by the way. Despite what many CEOs and right-wing politicians may say, unions created many benefits we all Americans enjoy today. And there's becoming a union member is a step towards progress. Find out what unions have created for our country. A lot of these things we think of as like, oh, like the companies just agreed to do this. They did these things because unions fought for it. The weekend in 1870, the average work week for most Americans was 61 hours, almost double what Americans work now. I don't know about almost double. Well, maybe average. Yet in the late 19th century and the early 20th century, it doesn't say earlier, and it also misspells 20th, which is concerning. Labor unions engaged in massive strikes in order to demand shorter work weeks so that Americans could be at home with their loved ones instead of constantly toiling for their employers with no leisure time. By 1937, these labor actions created enough political momentum to pass the Fair Labor Standards Act, which helped create a federal framework for a shorter work week that included room for leisure time. This is why a full-time job, legally speaking, can employ you for 5 days in a week, but not more than that. Uh, you can't have like, oh, you can do your 40 hours between in 7 days. Nope, 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 nope. You have to have you are required to have I don't know exactly how it works if it's 2 days or 48 hours or whatever, but you are required to have a weekend built into your work week. In addition to that, I'm going to skip one because it's related. I'm going to go to the 40-hour work week. The rise of unions in the 1930s and 40s led to the first great expansion of healthcare for all Americans. As these wait, what? This is completely unrelated. Okay, this site is not the best at conveying this, but I don't know if it's on Wikipedia. Let me see. Uh, the layout on this site I hadn't really. Let me see if there's any. Let's see the impacts. Okay, never mind. We'll stick here. But yeah, the 40-hour work week is also a part of that. Same reason why a full-time job is a 40-hour week, and any hours beyond that is considered overtime, and you have to be compensated extra for. And I think it's supposed to be optional, but maybe not because I've heard of some places that have required overtime. Don't cite me on that, I guess. Um, but yeah, that's because of unions. Again, like look here, there's that 61-hour work week on average in 1870. Yeah, because after unions agitated and fought for people's rights, it wasn't just that you have 2 days off. It's also that it's a 40-hour work week. The reasons for this were kind of interesting, and I don't know if they're the best arguments, but the idea for the weekend was, well, the Bible says you have a Sabbath or whatever. I don't know how they got to 2 days, but okay, there it is. Mandated, the Bible says we should have days off. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm glad religiosity was used to agitate for positive change. And the 40-hour work week, as I understand it, the idea was you have 8 hours to sleep, 8 hours to work, and 8 hours for yourself. Divide the day into three, and that was where you get, okay, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 40-hour work week. Cool. This is also why you have an 8-hour day, and that any time you spend on the clock past 8 hours, you need to be paid overtime and compensated extra for working past that. The 40-hour work week and the 8-hour work day are basically the same thing. But yeah, Kemga, you didn't know that. Yeah, unions are the reason we have a huge number. Like basically, anytime there are workers' gains, unions are probably involved. There's also the end of child labor. Union organizing and child labor reform were often intertwined in U.S. history. I don't know who these quotes are from. This is a very odd article. I'm glad it's like the only thing I could find that had a list of things that unions have accomplished, but it's a very strange article. In U.S. history, with organizations like National Consumers League and the National Child Labor Committee working together in the early 20th century to ban child labor. The very first American Federation of Labor, AFL, National Convention passed a resolution calling on states to ban children under 14 from all gainful employment in 1881, and soon after, states across the country adopted similar recommendations, leading up to the 1938 Fair Labor Standards Act, which regulated child labor on the federal level for the first time. Something to note about this is like why this is kind of important. It's kind of interesting that like this ban. We often think of child labor as a benefit for the child, right? You shouldn't be forced to work or whatever. It's also a benefit to adults. With child labor, the labor market vastly increases, and suddenly the market price for labor decreases. So now, like part of the reason why children were working in the first place was that their parents weren't being paid enough for them to live off of. Okay, so we'll have our child go to work. Well, if that portion of the workforce is no longer allowed to be employed, and good, right? It also is good for the children to not have to be forced to work in their younger years. They should be allowed to grow and develop before entering the workforce. It also means that the price of labor it increases. People get paid more because there are fewer options for labor, and you can survive off of that. This also leads us to a minimum wage, which isn't on here. If I'm not mistaken, a minimum wage was also the result of unions. But we have some other accomplishments as well. Unemployment benefits, workers' compensation laws, employer-based health care coverage. Now, I have issues with employer-based health coverage, mostly because tying your healthcare to whether you can work means that you'll get perfect storms that aren't even that uncommon. Calling them a perfect storm is weird. Of like, oh, if you get sick and lose your job, you're turbo fucked. And this is an issue with that, but it's better than having to pay for it yourself, that your employer is required to. Okay, fine. And then like family and medical leave is another part of that. Let's go to the Wikipedia article, see if there's uh let me see if there's a union gains, because there's more than that. Uh Labor histories maybe? All right, let's check out the unions. But unions have done a lot of good for this, for people, for working people all over the world. In some countries, the unions are, oh, they're so good. There's not only are they powerful, they also have solidarity for each other. I've heard stories of like, in some countries in Europe, like if a truckers union goes on strike, then maybe like the Teamsters union will go on strike to support them. Of like, okay, or maybe the other way around. Like, the dock workers union goes on strike. Okay, now also the truckers aren't gonna ship stuff around. Anything that affects that industry to help solidarity with workers, because at the end of the day, workers have to be in it together. The CEO gets to wield massive power as a single individual. The way to confront this is with collective action, with unionizing, with a group of people who are actually doing the work, actually creating the value that the company is benefiting from, profits from, that can make demands and by threatening to withhold their labor. And there's other stuff that goes into this. Strikes aren't the only tool of unions. I'm sadly pretty uneducated on what other stuff unions do, and if you want to learn more, I would highly encourage you to check out the links at the bottom of this Wikipedia page. There's a lot of them. Learn a lot about stuff about unions. But they've done a lot of good for working people, and I want to remind you of this for a couple of reasons. One, it's easy to think of what we have as a default. I This often comes from like ANCAP types or libertarian types, the kinds who assume like, oh, this is the way things is and the way it will have to be, but without a balancing power against overwhelming overwhelming consolidated power in the hands of people like CEOs or elected representatives. Um, I'll get to that in a second, Camgo. The we need You need a counterbalance to these kinds of power, or all these gains go away. Something that's easy to forget is what the world looked like for a working class person in, say, the 1920s. Um, if you've seen the play Newsies, I think it's on Disney Plus. It's about newspaper workers union, but there's a lot of stuff that goes into that of like, well, all the people in this union are kids. The oldest person is probably like 17, 18. But they're working for quarters and nickels and whatever. I know if inflation was different, but they're working for almost nothing because that's what they need to survive. And they make significant gains by forming a union and going on strike, getting their voices heard, and forcing people in power to acquiesce to their, well, I was gonna, to the demand sounds harsh, but to what should be right. There's a lot more that workers deserve than what we get now. I say a partial list. I said a partial list of what unions have accomplished when we were looking at that other article, partly because I knew that it was going to be incomplete, but partially because unions aren't done. Unions have been under attack for kind of a while. There's been I was going to say starting with Reagan, but I'm pretty sure it's before that. And the weakening of unions has made life for working people much, much worse. But that can be fought back. That can be All those gains can be fought for again, and they can be lost if we don't. So this is why strikes like the writer's strike in Hollywood are pretty important. Anytime there's a unionization effort, we should probably support it, help out. And there's a lot of issues of like, well, okay, maybe you want to form a union. Well, part of the problem is if your boss hears about it, everyone's fired. Everyone who talked about it was fired, and that might not be legal, but they'll make something up. We have outward employment in a huge number of states. Oh, I didn't fire you because you were talking about union. I fired you because like you clocked out 1 minute early, and that's not allowed. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So on this Labor Day, I want to stress the importance of unions and why it's important to remember what unions have fought for, and remember that it was a fight. This just didn't just happen. They had to struggle and fight, and there were literal massacres. I don't mean like, oh, they were like negotiations were. No, I mean like literally Pinkertons gunned down protesters and strikers in this country. Probably similar things happened in others. These things were fought for, and it's important not to forget. As for the question, Cambial, as to whether I trust Wikipedia, I'll put it this way. I think the age of Wikipedia is untrustworthy is mostly gone. Now, I'm not going to say that this is like perfectly accurate or anything like that. It's still publicly editable. However, we don't live in the times of the early Wikipedia where anyone could edit anything and it will look the same as unedited stuff. As you'll note that now all statements will be made with citations. You can even hover over it to see what the citation is. You can go to where it's cited from and the source. These sources are better to look at for research than Wikipedia. That is for sure. It's better to appraise the actual source than the summary of it. But Wikipedia is edited and moderated and checked over by a pretty significant. For the most part, if I see it on Wikipedia, I think it's probably true, and I don't think that's unreasonable. Now it varies. If I see something that says citation needed, that's probably not true. If I see something with multiple citations, it's more encouraging. If I see something that's not really amenable to objective facts, so if it's something like, oh, this person expressed like had a pro-union sentiment or whatever, like, okay, that's kind of hard to justify. That's the kind of thing like if you're being thorough, and you should be thorough. I'm just often not thorough. You should check the sources and really look into these kinds of things. But that's also how you get into the Wikipedia whirlpool, where you're like, oh, what is this National Relations Act? Oh, interesting. What is the 74 United States Congress? Okay, and then you're 12 articles deep, and you've inevitably landed on philosophy, because all roads lead to philosophy. We're not doing it here because I'm clicking mostly on historical things, but you will find yourself at the Wikipedia page for philosophy eventually if you just start clicking on links. That's what I mean about philosophy being the grandfather of all subjects, except for with the possible exception of like art and math, like maybe, but everything else, like any academic subject otherwise, usually derives from philosophy at some level, So that was that. That was talking about unions, and I know it wasn't very much. And you might also have noticed that the category for the stream right now is Magic the Gathering Arena. The reason is I didn't have tons to say about the unions. I mean, going on for 20 minutes is fine. We don't need to blather on endlessly. But also, there's a new set out on Magic the Gathering Arena. Let me see if my settings for this are still good. A moment. I know it's always awkward when I have to fiddle with this. Okay, yeah, that's fine. There's a new set out on Magic the Gathering Arena, and it is the Wilds of Eldraine. And I think it'd be fun to try it out. So we're going to do that. That's what's happening. And that's what we'll do for the rest of the stream today. Wait. Oh, it was like March of the Machines. Oh, Wilds of Eldraine. I believe it's only sealed. Oh, no, you can... Okay, no, we have Premier Draft. Okay. I've looked at the spoilers for this set, but I haven't done that much looking into strategies. I don't remember a lot of the cards, so we're going in half blind. This is my pre-release basically, and we'll see how things go. All right, what's our rare? Imodain the Pyro Hammer. 2 red red 4/4. When an instant or sorcery spell you control targets only a single creature, deals damage to that creature. It deals damage to each opponent. I mean, it's a 4 mana 4/4. I don't know what the burn looks like in this set. Dark Tutelage. That's actually not bad. It's basically a Dark Confidant. We can try food stuff. I'm glad you got. I'm glad you found it valuable, Camgal. You know what? I think I'm not gonna take the rare. The Dark Tutelage is scary, but you know what? Actually, I kind of like Dark Tutelage. The reason being, I saw there's a green-black uncommon that cares about that's like food stuff. So green-black might be, the food deck, and food can help offset the cost of this, and that's a really good card advantage. This costs 8. There's no way this is good, right? Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, it costs 8. We're done. We're done looking at that. Uh. Oh, okay. Ego Drain would be good if I didn't have if we had a fairy. The only black card that's Sugar Rush is okay. What is this card? I mean, 2 and a white 2/2 draw card is already reasonable, and if we play green, it gets a little bit better, right? Put a permanent. Yeah, it's okay. I don't know what's like that good in this set, so I'm not sure how to evaluate. I'm doing a little bit of like, well, rarity is probably going to influence what's good. Vampiric Rites is a strong card. Oh, is this not the card I thought it was? Oh, this is not the card that I thought it was. That's still good. Let's see. Destroy a creature with mana value 3 or less and make a food if it's your turn. That seems really good. When monstrosity or minstrosity dies, create a food. That's not bad. I think I'd rather have the removal spell. Uh, both white and black are options on here, but we don't have to be in either. I mean, this card's solid, but it's pretty far from like anything that we're looking at playing. I think we can just take the removal spell. We have infinite 3 drops right now. We should do some. We should have some non 3 drops. Uh, oh, Curse Courtier is good if we can get rid of that roll. And just battlefield maybe 2, make a sorcerer roll attached to it. That's not bad. Make a bunch of fairies. Oh, another good removal spell. Cool. This removes anything, but it is 5 mana. That's kind of close. This is a more consistent. I'm gonna take the cheaper one. Partly it's dark tutelage. Partly it's just that, like 5 mana to kill anything is on the cusp of whether good or not. It's also sorcery. Uh, Fairy fencing is not bad. We don't have any fairies yet. We don't have any. We barely have any creatures. Um. Oh, this is good. I like that. I think the fairy fencing might be a little bit better. No, I guess that's not true. Anytime a non-token creature I control dies, get a rat. No, that seems good actually. So we could be white, we could be red. We're definitely black, and we're probably not white and green. If we end up playing green, well, like it's possible that we end up playing green because of the food stuff. I need fewer 3 drops. This is kind of an issue I have with modern design, but I get it. Is that like to slow the game down? You don't want like 2 drops to be that good or like so overwhelmingly good. So you make your 3 drops worth enough to make you want to play it over a 2 drop, but that ends up meaning that you end up with like infinite 3 drops and not a lot to do on 2. But we've seen this is actually not bad. I think we might just take this vermin. It enters the battlefield, make a rat. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a 1/1 counter on it. That's not bad. We already have some rat stuff. Maybe we'll end up being like rats. What is this? It's okay. We'll take the Voracious Vermin. Again, just infinite 3 drops. When you cast spell during a opponent's turn. Okay, this would be good if we had instants, but we have Feed the Cauldron, but that's about it. What is this? Turn a creature from your graveyard to your hand. When it dies, put it on the bottom of its owner's library. This is just a solid card. Evolving Wilds is okay. Oh, I like this. Tattered Ratter. It looks like we're doing rat stuff already. Works with 2 of our cards. Wow, Witch's Mark is significantly better than other versions of that in the past. But no, I think it's the Tattered Ratter. Alright, creature you control get 2-0 until end of turn. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies this turn, make a rat with this thing can't block. That's pretty good. When it enters the battlefield, destroy a creature that was dealt damage this turn. This kind of effect ends up being not that good, but it is nice with the rats, I guess. Oh, bargain cards get a lot better with these rats. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 2 of them back on top, the rest of your graveyard, draw 2 and lose 2. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take this. I'm not really sure. It's part of it is like I don't have enough time because I'm trying to figure out what these cards do. And so I don't have enough time to like figure out what's good. Oh, Grand Balgast also similarly good when we have a bunch of rats. So we're gonna want to really prioritize stuff that gets rats into play. Sugar Rush is actually not bad with these rats. We can trade up. It also cantrips, which is nice. Ego Drain I would love if we had fairies. We have one, but it's a 3/1 flyer, so maybe we will end up playing it, but we can't rely on it, especially for a card you want to play on turn 1, and I do not want a 2-for-1 myself for a discard spell. Exile a card from your hand is just way too high a cost. Even discard a card could be okay. I mean, this card's fine. Even discard a card would be okay instead of exile a card because we could do something like discard a creature, then play that adventure that returns a creature from our graveyard to our hand, which is probably why it says exile. They don't want it to be that way. Something I forgot to mention, by the way, is part of the reason we're doing more Magic today when normally that's a Wednesday thing. I know I sometimes play Magic on other days, but it's typically a Wednesday thing. And the reason we're doing it today is I actually have a special plan for tomorrow, and we won't end up being able to do any drafting. I don't think. I don't think we'll have the time for it. So that's why we're doing some today. What is this? And if Battlefield's dry too, you can eat it. I don't think that's what we want, but Yenna, Red Tooth Regent, choose an incantation. Okay, well, we can't. We're very far from casting this. I'm just going to stop reading it. Glass Cast is great, but we can't cast it. Can't cast this. Stone Splitter Bolt deals X damage to target creature. Planeswalker, if it's bargained, it deals twice that. It's a good removal spell. We're probably not going to bargain it because dealing twice as much is probably not super relevant, even though bargaining is very easy for us. Just not a ton that's great for us here. When it enters the battlefield, make a food, sack a food, target player loses 2 life. That's okay. I think, yeah, I mean, Stone Splitter Bolt is just solid removal. It's a Heat Ray. There's a lot more text, but I don't think that text is going to matter. Second Dark Tutelage? Could we? Possibly? I don't know. That seems worrisome. Not dead after all is probably not where we want to be. Frantic Firebolt deals 2 damage. I mean, Frantic Firebolt is just good removal. Flick a Coin, probably actually good in this set. I don't know. Dealing 1 damage is not that big a deal, but it cantrips. It's a better zap. I think the Firebolt is better anyway, but I wouldn't mind picking up a Flick a Coin at some point. Look, we have more 3-drops. Dragon Mantle, draw a card, equip creature has fire breathing. Okay. Charade, nope. Lots of cards that are not for us. This makes a treasure, and you can sack artifacts and draw a card. I mean, this is maybe just another Voracious Vermin. Yeah, a lot of stuff for our strategy just isn't here right now. That's okay. That's a retail draft for you. Griffin Airy. Wow, this card could be really good. Discard your hand, then draw 2 cards. Oh, I don't know about discard your hand, then draw 2. I thought it was discard a card and then draw 2. And then this costs S less to cast or X's number of cards in your graveyard. There are instant sorceries and have adventure. It's a 4/5. Enter the battlefield. You can pay 1 to make a young hero attached to a thing. I don't think that's where we want to be. Conceit of Witch is okay. Scream Puff. I guess I'll take this thing. We have a decent number of instants and sorceries. We have 5 instants and like one thing with adventure, I think. Aggravated Assault. Whew. Uh, uh, that's a strong card, but I don't think we can do it. Two-Headed Hunter might be where we are. What is this? Enters battlefield, gain control of target creature under. Okay, so it's a threaten. You can gain 3 life or make someone lose 3 life. Okay. Has long life link as long as you have another fairy, and you can pay a lot of mana to pump it. No. We can take another Frantic Firebolt. Yeah, just removal is good. Man, that first pick, we should have taken that rare. I didn't realize how much burn was in this set. The Belligerent of the Ball is not bad. Deals 2 damage to our creature planeswalker. If it was bargain, instead it deals 3 and you scry 1. If a permanent would be done. I mean, just good removal. Maybe I should be taking the creature instead. How many? No, I'm going to take the removal spell. The creature is like dorky enough where I don't really care. Make a treasure. You can play cards. Ooh, this is actually really strong. Being a comment of turn, you can attach this for free. It's actually not bad. Not dead after all, I don't think is where we want to be. I think we'll take Corvold and the Noble Thief. We end up being like kind of control-y here. Make 2 rats, and then as long as on your turn, okay, this is where we want to be. Yeah, that's pretty good. Makes a bunch of rats, is a decent attacker. There's a lot of like opportunity costs that I'm feeling in the last few picks. But yeah, I did not realize how much burn was in this set. If I had known, absolutely should have taken our first pick rare. Oh well, and it didn't wheel, so I wonder if someone is trying to do that. But we're seeing a lot of burn still. I don't know. Stark Tutelage. We have to like keep an eye on our average mana cost. That's partly why I'm often. Oh, this Hearth Elemental actually might not make it just for that reason. I don't think we want that. This is okay. It's like very okay. I think I'd rather have the random 2/1. Like random 2 mana creature. Yeah, alright, fine, we'll take it. I guess it has adventure, so that matters. Flick a coin. Do we want a second Dark Tutelage? Oh, the question is back. Ooh, I don't think we'll ever I don't think we ever want 2 in play, but I guess having more, like seeing it in twice as many games is good. Even the auto select is telling me flick a coin. I'm gonna take Dark Tutelage. It's probably a mistake, but like, ooh. I mean, that effect is just so strong. It's an extra card every turn. It costs us a decent amount of life, maybe, you know. If we get lucky, you know, it doesn't. I guess I shouldn't count on being lucky. I tend not to be. I mean, this is whatever. I don't know. I don't know if we'll play it. It's pretty dorky. Another copy. This is more reasonable. We might play a Bellwing Bruiser. Spreading Seas. Interesting. Alright, a double green rare. We're not casting that. Exile a creature if you control enchantment. Scry 2. That's really good. Rainbow Bombardment. Oh, that's super good, but I'm going to hope that comes back. I think the removal spell is better. Oh, man. Raid Bombardment is so good with our rats. I guess we don't have that many rats right now. Oh, man. There's a lot of... There are like 3 or 4 cards in this backup. I'm going to take this very efficient removal spell. Oh, and then another one? Wow. Do we take the second one? I think we might take the second one. Wow, this pack is actually insane. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards that we'd be interested in. I think I'm just going to take this. Fairy Fencing is kind of another Heat Ray. I think just a Raid Bombardment here is not bad. Unless there's something really good that makes rats. This is okay. It makes rats. We'll take the first Raid Bombardment, but we're going to prioritize rats over the second one if the other one comes back. So yeah, I guess we're trying to, like, you know, remove most of our opponent's important creatures, attack with idiots that are annoying to block, and get them dead with like card advantage and like poke. So many 3 mana cards. 10 3 mana cards. It's almost half of our total spells. I don't think we want to sack something for that. This is probably where we want to be. Yeah. Gnawing Crescendo is like okay. I think I'd much rather have the Ratcatcher trainee. Too many cards now. I think we're definitely not playing this Hearth and Elemental. We kind of wasted that pick, I suppose. Um, What's Candy Grapple? Oh no, that's good. Stab Wound. Oh, Stab Wound is really good. Each opponent. Okay. Another Ratcatcher trainee or Stab Wound. I think Stab Wound. I think I prioritize removal too much, but I come from an age of like, removal is real good. We have too many non-creatures maybe. Maybe we're not on Corvold and the Noble Thief. It seems like so much fun, but it's probably not actually good. We can even play 16 lands with our curve looking the way it does. It's very weird because like we're super low to the ground, but we're not incredibly fast. Like all of our spells are cheap, but Leyline of Lightning. It's cute, but I don't think that's where we are. We already cut the first Corvold Noble Thief. I do like. All right, I'll take the creature. Another Feed the Cauldron would be nice, but we'll take the Skewer Slinger. It synergizes with Raid Bombardment. It's hard to block. Works well with what we're up to. Grand Ball Guest is not bad. Harried Spearguard is probably not good. We already have a Grand Ball Guest, but I don't think we're gonna play this Spearguard, even though it does make a rat. It's just that it's not good before it makes the rat. Do we at this point take the fairy fencing? Yeah, I think so. So it's like plus minus on the Stone Splitter Bolt. No, I guess it's just better than Stone Splitter Bolt. Yeah, because we have a fairy, so sometimes that'll matter. But even if we don't, yeah, I don't think I want the second Raid Bombardment. We have too many cards. We'll figure out what to cut. But even if we don't bargain it, like even if we don't have a fairy, or even if we don't bargain it, that it's -X means we can it can turn into a combat trick basically. Tattered Ratter. I think I'd rather have the second Tattered Ratter than the third Skewer Slinger. These names, boy, whew, these names. uh, Edgewall Pack. Enters battlefield, make 1 rat. I would love it if it was 2 rats, but I guess we still want it. I don't think. All right, well, all right, we can take the Crescendo, but I don't think we're playing it. The problem with the Crescendo is like it needs non-token creatures to die. I guess it just buffs my board. I don't know. We'll take a look. I guess it's a Raid Bombardment that's a little less consistent, but has more immediate oomph. All right. So we have to cut a bunch of cards here. Maybe a lot of the ideas that I had weren't actually good. Like, actually, I think this Bellowing Bruiser is kind of suspect. We can definitely cut a land. Stingblade Assassin is 3 power in the air and works well with they chump block a rat, or with the Skewer Slinger actually, even before damage we can kill a thing. I shouldn't say chump block a rat, they just block a rat. Sugar Rush is kind of questionable. I don't want to cut these dark tutelages. They seem neat. I don't know. Maybe they're not that good. Enters the battlefield, make a rat, and then what another creature you control dies. But this is probably still good. Yeah, it's probably better than a lot of my other stuff. Frantic Bolt, Firebolt seems good. Oh, this card's bad. What the hell? Why is this in here? It's 3 mana, which is where we have too many cards, and it's already... Yeah, I think we can cut these two. Sugar Rush is like kind of interesting with like the rats or whatever. But all right, is 1/1 and trample as long as 2 or more non-land permanents. Is it non-land permanents? Non-land permanents enter the battlefield this turn. I don't know how often we're gonna get that. We'll trim 1. Seems okay. Minstrosity. I want to hang on to the Minstrosity mostly because it works well with because like the food might be kind of necessary with these dark tutelages. But maybe that's yeah. You know what? I think that's a bad way of thinking about it. I'd love to cut a 3-drop, but I think our 3-drops are just way too good. Like maybe we don't need this. Maybe raid bombardment's not actually good. Hold on. How it's whenever creature control with 2 power or less attacks. It's like okay, here's a rat, so it's 1, 2, 3, kind of 4, 5, 6 plus whatever it makes 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, that's a lot actually. Almost all of our creatures are small enough. Uh, hmm. Maybe I can cut a creature. I don't know, because I guess some of these creatures are a lot of creatures. Should probably cut a non-creature spell. I don't think. The thing is, it's mostly removal, and our removal is really good. Stab wound, I guess is. I guess stab wound's kind of suspect. If stab wound doesn't like putting stab wound on a 2/3 is like cute because they'll start losing life to it, but then they can just chump with anything. I guess it's stab wound. That's kind of annoying. All right, we'll try this. Because like 3 mana to give -2/-2 is not great, but the trade off is like it can cost them life every turn. That's probably better in a more controlling deck where like they're not gonna chump with it, or if you put it on something that can't block, that's really nice. But it's not that much, I guess. Candy Grapple, Voracious Vermin. We've got a curve here. We have multiple removal spells into a 3 that can like get value off of the stinger. Yeah, I'll torch it. That's fine. Get out of here. 1 mana 2/1 though. I guess I didn't put that much value in that when I was looking at it. Now we have another removal spell that for their next play. Yep. Get out of here. And now we can play our Voracious Vermin. I was actually hoping to draw a 3rd land there, 4th land. 3rd mountain isn't exactly the best because we have double black spells, and I don't think we have any double red spells. We definitely don't have triple red. Now if they attack, depending on the creature they'll play, we'll modulate what we attack with. Because, like, I mean, we can offer a trade with the Vermin, depending on what this is. Let's see, what is this? When it enters the battlefield, you return another non-land permanent you control to its understand if you do so. So it's just a 3/2. I'm okay with offering the trade. And then if they block the rat, we'll put in the assassin and get a pretty sizable trade up. The assassin's, I think, not like this effect is not actually very good, but with how many rats are in the set? Okay, so they're just taking the trade. I'm okay with that. We'll play the Edgewall pack. And now we have the initiative. Raid Bombardment, a card I would love to draw right now. Okay, well, play land and just attack. There's a pretty real chance we play the Stingblade Assassin just as a 3/1, a 3/1 flyer. We have a lot of pressure right now. Playing a 5/4 menace. Okay. I think because of that, we're gonna hold on to the assassin because they can't block the pack. They might as well block a rat. Like maybe they smell blood, but maybe they don't. Now we go boop, and then we keep the tempo up. And a lot of this is this is kind of what I was hoping the deck would do is we set the pace of the game with all this removal, and then like our creatures just work. You know, they don't have to be exceptional. I guess we might as well play this land. Can't attack or ball. Okay, sure. Alright, they have their own removal spell. A reasonable one. If they can kill our 3/1, it mitigates the... It drops the pressure down to almost nothing. I'm a little surprised they put it on the 3/3 instead, but I guess Menace... 3/3 Menace is similarly difficult to deal with than a 3/1 flyer. Yeah. But yeah, that game brought to you by setting the pace of the game. And this is why I like removal so much in Limited, probably more than I should. I think the balance has changed where, like, you should prefer a creature to removal most of the time. But it's just, you have so much power over the pace of the game like that when you can just remove what your opponent's doing, make sure they don't get up to what they want to. Now, when you can't do that, when it doesn't work, you are holding a bunch of cards that don't remove the things that they actually have, and you just can't do anything because you don't have a board either. Fairy Dream Thief. Enters battlefield, surveil 1, exile from your grave, draw a card, lose a life. Oh, it's a pretty solid card. And there's stuff that cares about fairies too. Yeah, it's not bad. I'd rather play my 2/2 than... I'm not going to try to kill it. That's probably going to hang out for quite a while, which is part of the reason why 1-drops can be good, is that they'll just be around. Okay. Do I want to play Raid Bombardment? I think I'd rather play my creature. It's a little less mana efficient. Actually, if we draw a land, we might want to go... Yeah, you know what? I'll play Raid Bombardment. Sure. This is just for mana efficiency purposes. Like, I don't really care about the extra damage, but we get it down now, so we don't have to worry about it later. Now, we could play the Slinger and then next turn get 2 triggers off of it and have an attack with the Slinger or whatever. But if we draw a land, especially, we can go Slinger plus Candy Grapple on their 3/2, and I figured they would play the 3/2. Alright, perfect. Perfect. So we go Candy Grapple. Whoops. Do not want to bargain that card. Give this -3/-3. Play our Slinger. Attack with our Tattered Ratter. Maybe this card isn't that good. Like, we just don't have rats right now. We just don't have that much in the way of rats. So maybe it ends up not being that good? I don't know. What is this? Enters the battlefield, make a monster roll attached, so it's a 5/5. Sack an aura attached to it, it gets to fight. Okay. So this does 2 plus number of cards. So this does 5 already? Okay, I like dealing 5. I wish I got confirmation, but I'm pretty sure it's 5. Exile a target creature where X is 2 plus number of cards. Oh, 3 is the total damage? Come on, Wizards, please. That's really annoying. I might lose because of that. That's really obnoxious. I guess they can't block this turn, but, like, big deal. Alright, well, now we know. It's telling me the total number of damage. I guess I could have counted myself. That's my bad. Yeah, I guess... Okay, we can try to assassin down the troll. It's probably going to fight my Ratter. That's bad. Yeah, we're losing a lot of card advantage to that. We just threw away a card for nothing, and then the troll gets to do its thing. But if we hadn't played it at all, we could... Like, now we'd have a removal spell for this thing, and yeah. Alright. No point living in the past, right? Alright, let's attack. I expect a block here. And then we do this. I love that that's a combo that exists. Like, that feels really good. Even though, like I said, these kinds of effects are pretty bad. That's why they've had to buff this effect so much. Like, in Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, this was a 2/1 that didn't have tribal synergies. Now it's a 3/1, you know? They also have a lot of health in their back pocket. So even though we're putting pressure here, they could just be like, alright, I'll gain 9 life. Okay, this does 4 damage. We know that now. Okay. Alright. We'll hold it. There's no need to cast it right this second. Trial by Nightmares. Sure. Let's just exile it. Can't do anything about it anyway. That lowers my damage by a lot, that's for sure. Would I rather kill the scavenger than the troll? Oh, they're gaining life. Interesting. They probably have a card that cares about them gaining life. I don't imagine they're just doing it for the just for the life. That would be surprising to me. Okay. Yeah, they get that. So, I guess the question is, do I kill the 4/4? I guess I don't. I guess I kill the scavenger. Because this is a 5/4 basically, and it's blocking this turn. The 4/4 will probably get me dead, if I'm honest. I don't think I can beat it. But, you know, I think the 5/4 was scarier. I guess they did just gain the life to gain the life last turn. I mean, they weren't spending the mana anyway, so it didn't matter. Sure. I don't think that matters. I think we're dead anyway, but yeah, that's a very unbeatable card. Especially given our 7 lands. But we've drawn 7 lands in our top 14 cards, and that's also almost half of our lands. Oh my. Yeah, and the Fell Horse. Yeah, we're super dead. The rats can't block, but the trainee can, and I can just cast both. I guess the slinger... Oh, we can double block. Okay. I was gonna say the slinger is less valuable than the trainee because the trainee deals more damage to the face, but we can actually double block because the slinger is when it blocks or becomes blocked. Now that said, we're never beating the next wave of stuff coming into play. I'm actually really surprised they cast that. I expected the 6/7 to come into play. The 6/7 I think would have been better. But maybe they want to play this plus the Horseman. I think the 6/7 is better than that, actually. Alright, if they have something... Alright, cool. Even if they don't, we're probably dead. But if they have anything, we're super dead. It's just, how dead are we, is what we're finding out. And we'll play it out, because, like, maybe something can come around here. Yeah, there's the Horseman. Tattered Ratter lets us attack. Oh, but we're still dead. Okay. Yeah, the 2 creatures is enough. Wait, what? No way. That was a mega throw from them. I was just dead. Okay, we get to see another turn. Yeah, that's really weird. Like, if they just don't block, then they attack with 2 lethal creatures and I'm dead. Now this thing is also unbeatable. I mean, maybe I'll draw my own Taken by Nightmares, which I didn't. And that thing can't be blocked by my creatures. just any creatures I have. Wow. We actually had a shot there. I think that was a huge throw from them. If I drew Taken by Nightmares, we remove their creature, they get to like play one more or whatever, but we're playing a game. We have a shot. Wow. Well, I guess the Tattered Ratter was pretty relevant. Maybe they didn't realize the rats were going to trade if they blocked. Maybe they're like, "Oh, I'll just block the 1/1s." It's a new set. I wouldn't expect anyone to memorize what the cards do, especially your opponent's cards. I like this hand. I need a third land, but we're on the draw, and we have a lot of good stuff to play. Oh, hello, friendly opponent. I appreciate your friendliness. Alright, let's play our mountain. Sometimes I think about what land to play first, of like, what do I show them, what do I not? It probably doesn't matter as much as I think about it. If they don't play another creature, I have a real choice as to whether I Candy Grapple or Stone Splitter Bolt. Okay, I don't care about this so much. Not until they show me more enchantments. Oh, but they could sack the Veteran. That's kind of interesting. So, I guess for that reason, let's play the Ratter. We'll likely off if they attack. We'll likely offer the trade with the veteran. I mean, they have a strong curve right now, right? They're playing creatures. They've played creatures on both the turns 1 and 2. Glass Casket, yeah, this is a strong start. That said, I think we can cover it. Like we're flush with removal here. So, oh, do I just play Dark Tutelage? I think not. I wish I could cast 2 removal spells this turn, but since I can't, it's kind of annoying because they can sack the veteran to like dodge the removal spell, which means I don't get a food off of Feed the Cauldron if they do that. Maybe we'll do this in combat then. If we're not playing Dark Tutelage this turn, all of our spells are instants. Impact Tremors. Impact Tremors is annoying, but I actually don't. I think that's fine. I think I'd rather them do that than a lot of other stuff they could do. Yeah, but now we frantic firebolt the 2/1. They almost certainly sack it, yeah, and then next turn, then we untap and we get to kill that. And it's when it attacks, so it already didn't see the attack. It's still, so I'm taking 1 here. Yeah, all right, cool. And now we can go. I like just Stone Splitter Bolt for 1. Actually, let's Feed the Cauldron. It's a little less efficient if I end up casting the other removal spell, but the Stone Splitter Bolt can kill something much bigger, and like the food is helpful. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. All right, what is this? Enters battlefield, make a treasure. Okay, I'd love to draw a land here so we can go Candy Grapple, Dark Tutelage. Did not draw a land, but we drew a 2-drop, so we can go Tattered Ratter plus Candy Grapple. We need a little bit of help because the 2 Dark Tutelages is not, like, I don't want to cast both, that's for sure. And that means so we're down a card. Like, I don't want to cast both most of the time. I definitely don't want to cast both against player with Impact Tremors who's trying to beat me down. So we can go Stone Splitter Bolts for 1. We don't need to bargain this. And then we can play the Slinger. I mean, as long as I'm not drawing land 5 to go I'm glad I'm drawing, 2 mana spell. Yeah, now they have like Impact Tremors, Raid Bombardment, but they don't have any creatures. All right, cool. Now we finally have a turn to get this Dark Tutelage down. Still like not optimal use of our mana. Like I could have played this, but I think we'll be okay. As long as we don't flip our massive spells. And our spells don't even get that massive. Alright, we took 3, then drew a land, so, not ideal. Alright, what is this? When an enchantment you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, make a bird. Okay, that I don't care about. So we can go attack with the Slinger, which is going to deal a damage no matter what. Oh, they're not blocking. I guess they're worried about stuff, but no, I just have another Slinger. If we're really worried about it, we can respond to our Dark Tutelage trigger by sacrificing a food. I really wish we had better stuff with bargain. We just don't have, like, both of the bargain spells that I can think of that we have. I think we only have these 2, and if we do, like, neither of these need to be bargained. So we have a little bit of fodder, but not stuff to do with it. Okay, you can get in for 1, I guess 2. It's a little annoying, but I don't have anything that can kill me from here. Off of the Dark Tutelage. Yeah, land is perfect. Land is ideal. Alright, Torch the Tower. Oh, this also is bargain, right? Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, we'll bargain that. And target, sacrifice. Oh, an artifact, enchantment, or token. Oh, we can sack our Dark Tutelage. Yeah, that's actually pretty sweet. And then we can cast the backup one. Oh, this does get them a bird. Okay, that's like a little annoying, but that's fine. Oh wow, that's actually decently annoying. Fairy fencing we'll keep on top. So now we know we're losing 1 to... Oh, we can block that with the slinger if we want. Yeah, we can definitely just play this. Play this. We'll crack the food this turn. No attacks. I'd rather... Like, taking 1 to deal 2 is not worth it given our life point situation. But we can gain 3 life here. Red Cab Gutter Dweller. It's a rare, so that's not great. Enters the battlefield, make 2 rats. No! It's 3 damage. For the impact tremors, at the beginning of your upkeep, you can sack another creature. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on it and exile the top of your library. You can play it this turn. Okay, that's okay. The worst thing about that is the 3 triggers of impact tremors. We are definitely playing with fire, casting these Dark Tutelage against Raid Bombardment impact tremors deck. But we know we can cast this. I don't love drawing a land after that, I'll be honest with you. We have 1 blocker, so we're going to 2. We basically can't flip spells anymore. And, you know, they're not, if they find a couple of creatures, we're dead. Yeah, it's pretty annoying. Maybe we need to cut the second Dark Tutelage? We've only, by the way, found Dark Tutelage. Oh, that's right, I forgot about the Raid Bombardment. We were dead anyway. We only found Dark Tutelage when we found both of them. That's kind of annoying. And against the Impact Tremors deck? Maybe we can trim one. Alright, we'll trim one of the deck. Maybe that's result-oriented thinking. Is it just put in Grand Ballgast? I don't think Grand Ballgast is where we want to be. I forgot you can't sack a creature to bargain. So, I mean, it ended up not being a problem. I guess it's just Grand Ballgast. It ended up not being a problem that we could only bargain what we could. Because, like, whatever. We had the backup... We had the backup Dark Tutelage anyway. Huh. Well, red spells and black lands is not going to be functional. They also mulliganed as well, so... This hand is great. The question is what we put on the bottom. I think it's the Assassin. Oh, but the Assassin works so well with this hand. We have no other remove... I think it's the Assassin. Sadly. Like, if that was just our 7, that would have been exceptional. Alright, we make a food. Make a food, and then enters the battlefield. 1 creature goes minus X, where X is the number of amount of life you gain this turn. It's also just a... Okay, it's 3 mana. 3/2 is not that big a deal. Okay, it's like a fine rare, I guess. 1 mana instant make a food is below rate. That's for, or like above rate. Is better than you normally get. That's true, I guess. And it can like remove a creature. You just have to gain life in the same turn, which is not like the easiest, I guess. Oh, they're sacrificing their food now? Weird. I wonder if that's because they think I'm like crazy aggressive because I'm red black or whatever, but this deck isn't actually all that aggro. Let's play the Voracious Vermin. Exiles the enchanted creature. Okay. Let's see what they want to do. If they cast their rare, I'll offer the trade with the Vermin. Sadly, we don't. We put back the. We bottomed the Assassin, so we can't offer. We can't get the rat to trade. At the beginning of your end, where X number of auras you control. Oh wow, that's really strong. Okay. Let's go. Land plus Edgewall pack. The good news is we have all of our rat cards this game. I don't want to throw away a rat for no reason. Like, yeah, I can move the power onto my Voracious Vermin, but I have to do that twice before it can attack through this 2/4 anyway. That's a mythic. Okay, well that explains. Yeah, that's a strong card. I mean, they have to have a bunch of auras, which they might not. It's gonna be difficult to get through, but we'll figure it out. Here's their own Voracious Vermin. Question is, do I, like, play Raid Bombardment and attack? Oh, that would be so good if we could cast it. Alright. I am okay with sending the Edgewall pack to trade with their vermin and put a counter on mine. So I guess... no matter what, we're being pretty mana inefficient this turn. So we'll Raid Bombardment, I guess. And then send everything but the vermin. I'm not sure what blocks we'll see here. Okay, that's pretty okay with me. I guess they can now send back for 5. I can block one of it. Maybe that wasn't... A 2/4 is just really good at walling me out, and we've drawn none of our removal except for one that we can't cast. Ashiok's Reaper. When an enchantment you control is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Okay, it's fine. Well, if that's their only attack, I think I don't block at all. Just a 1. Another uncastable spell. Cool, 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 cool. I think we're still not just... Okay, so I guess it's Ratcatcher training. I think we're not attacking this turn. So we're going to Pest Problem and then pass. We can get past this board. It's just gonna take a while, and it's been kind of annoying. And we might be... Oh, this has lifelink too? Okay, that's better than I thought it was. Sure, nothing happens. Yeah, they're walling us out pretty hard, which is good for their mythic. But okay, now I'll just take the block. Yeah, now I can take it. Now I can block it. That's fine. Okay, Swamp is great. That means we can kill a thing, which means I want to send with the pack. I get to trade for something I want, and depending on what they block with, I guess there's no block where I blow them out with my removal spell. Okay, what does this do? Okay, I don't care about that. I guess I'd rather kill their 3/2. Sure, we'll just take the trade. And now we'll pass. They're in top deck mode, so if we can beat the board, then we're in great shape here. A lot of what they're up to I just don't care about. Okay, if that's what they're doing, then we can... Yeah, I guess we exile that. Probably should have done that in like second main phase, but whatever. Okay, I don't like the Grand Ball Guest. I actually do like the land because it lets us double spell next turn. We can Tattered Ratter plus Taken by Nightmares. Which I think is the plan, and then we can just we'll just send all our rats, and we'll see what they want to do about it. We have Raid Bombardment, so that's gonna deal a bunch. I mean, I know they're at 25, but I think the majority of our problems we've solved. They have a card coming when they exile my creature and the Reaper triggers. But these blocks are really bad. Like, I don't think they have any good blocks. They can just take 3 here, but now it means, like, now can they let us just attack for 6 every turn? I'm not losing any blocking with, like, any ability to defend myself with this. Now, that said, my ability to defend myself is not great at the moment. I'm a little surprised. I think they should have cracked the cooped up instead of the food. Drew a land. I don't hate that. They're on 7 lands over there. This can give itself Oh, it can give itself like a bunch of buffs, right? So it can be a 3/3. I'll just take 3. I'll take it, and like they'll probably double pump into it. And I think at this point I want to exile the Voracious Vermin. Oh, we don't want any of these lands. Jeez, get out of here. Take 3. Okay. Now we can send the rats again. If anything, their blocks have gotten worse. The Voracious Vermin is like just awkward enough like his power and toughness is just awkward enough to not be able to block the Slumbering Keep Guard. Charmed Clothier. Enters the battlefield, make a roll attached to a creature you control. Oh, just let some scry. What's the roll? It's 1/1 and ward 1. Okay, sure. I don't care about that so much. I guess I care that the Keeper Guard is going to be more annoying. Oh, but I'm happy with... Oh, hold on. I'll snap off that block. It looks like a 2-for-1 for them. It's actually not. They're losing like half a card with the token, but also they're losing a card that they were going to recoup by exiling Cooped Up. Now I'm okay with sending the Vermin, which is a 6/5. Oh, that's the other reason why it's not really a 2-for-1. So I'm getting 2 more power on here. If they want to kill the Vermin, they have to double block with their 3-power creatures, which, like, cool. Now they have 6 power that I'm, like, not much able to deal with, but they're facing down lethal next turn. Okay, I think we got this. Oh, Devouring Sugarmaw, what is that? So, make a human and a food, Menace Trample on your upkeep. You can sack an artifact or enchantment or token if you don't tap it. Okay, so we'll take 6. Do we take 6? We can trade with the Witch. I think we take 6. Oh, it's so tough. Because this thing means... Okay, what are their blocks next turn? They can block the Vermin, and then they take... And a rat, so they're taking 4. Yeah, I guess I do block the Witch. Reason being, I don't think the Ratter is going to trigger for the rest of the game. Oh, Stone Splitter Bolt is exact... Oh, that's phenomenal. Alright, cool. We can go cast Stone Splitter Bolt. X is 6. We can't bargain it, but again, we don't really need to. We can just pay the mana. Now we have a monster attack. If they don't block the Vermin, they die, which means they don't get a trade off of this block. They go to 4. They have a lethal attacker. The bombardment puts them to 1, and then they have to block all of these, deal with all of these rats. Now they can gain 3 life, which means they live 1 turn, I believe. Yeah, they can live a turn by chump blocking. Oh, okay. Or they can choose to concede the game. You had 1 more turn. I mean, I guess I don't know what you would possibly draw. I guess there's nothing they could possibly draw to get out of that, but... Oh, the Stone Splitter Bolt was pretty great. And that's why Heat Rays are good. Like, you can just kill whatever. And that's why it was holding it so long in that other game. I had that idea in my head of like, well, if they play a 5/5, these other removal spells don't kill it. Oh, I knew I forgot to do something. I forgot to refill my water. Yeah, sand seems fine. Well, there's nothing to write home about, but... Maybe our land count is wrong. We keep getting, like, 3 mountains, 1 swamp, or 2 mountains, 1 swamp. Even though we have an even split on them. We should, as often, not have our red mana, but that just isn't what happens. I'll play with the environment a little bit. I think I prefer the ball guest to the slinger. The slinger is a little bit better on defense. So if we attack and then play a blocker, that's better. And then, I think I want to get the raid bombardment down. It's more mana efficient. I think we lose a point of damage if we do it this way. If I had cast the slinger, the next turn we deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this turn we're dealing 6. No, actually it's less damage if I played it the other way. Wow, that's kind of funny. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it's 1 less damage. Okay, yeah, I forgot the attack this turn. It's 1 less damage doing it this way. Choose 2. Choose 2, get a basic land, get a human, get a food. Oh, that's pretty good. I don't think I want to cast Torch the tower, so we'll just play that. Attack. We can torch something that they play. I really want to draw Swamp kind of soon. Okay, yeah, if you want to block with that, that's fine. This is what I was worried about the Ballgast, of like, if we don't find kind of specific cards in our deck, we're not going to trigger it very much. It's just a 2/2. And again, I come from an age where 2 mana 2/2 is good enough. You take those, and red shouldn't get them. It should get 2 mana 2/1s. With no text, not like with upside, but now we're in a world where every color gets 2 mana 2/2 with upside. So yeah, it's just not that good. It's fine, right? I'm like not lamenting the existence of the card, but I'm just saying this is what I was worried about. Haste when you control. Okay, sure. You get a mana out of it, which is a little annoying, but we're probably gonna kill it. Greta, Sweet Tooth Scourge. Yeah, we're gonna kill the 1/2, and then we can candy grapple that thing. I mean, if we want, we can like Skewer Slinger instead, and then Night Sting Assassin it. But if they don't block, we just lose 3 points of damage for no reason. Will they block? You know what? All right, I'm gonna go for the high. I'm gonna go for the slight. It's a slight risk for a pretty good reward, so I'll go for it. Okay, they trust me. All right. Yeah, we lost 3 points of damage there, but we could have accelerated it. We could have played an additional threat to our board while killing their creature if they had taken the block. I don't know. Sometimes it's a little unclear as to whether it's a good idea to go for stuff like that. And they have a lot of swamps and not a lot of other stuff, but they have a prophetic prism, so I guess that's fueling it. But they're probably stuck on like one non-black spell a turn. If we notice, they haven't cast any mono-black spells. You know, like here's a red-green spell, here's a green-black spell, here's a mono-green spell. They might be having mana problems over there. Like Agatha's Champion enters the battlefield. If it was bargained, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Well, that's pretty good. Yeah, fair enough. Swamp? Not swamp. Well, we're not blocking it, so actually, I guess we could block it and do the same thing. We'll see if they. Yeah, we get to do the thing, which is great because we drew 4 mountains and 1 swamp and have our double black spell in hand. Maybe we'll mess with we'll double check. I just trusted Arena for my land count, and I probably shouldn't have. I wanted to get to playing. Oh wow, well that's pretty good. Yeah, that's really good for them. Oh, what is this? When it dies, you may cast it from your graveyard as an adventure until your end of turn. Okay. Well, I guess we're casting the spell we can cast. We're a little behind on board. We can make up for it. Okay, well, that's a good card for them to have. Okay. We need to draw something here. The good news is, like, even Swamp is something. This can trade for one of their things. Oh, they have 2 of these. Wow, that's pretty good. take 2 damage to kill a thing for free, I guess. Okay, at least I'm using my mana here. And then I can trade the 2/1 for a 3/2. I guess I'll try to trade with both. I don't... Pushing for damage doesn't make much sense. I'm at lower life and they have 2 foods hanging out. Oh, also I might be dead to this witch. Oh no, it deals 4. Yeah, I have to block or I'm dead. I forgot about the witch for a second. It's a little unfortunate. It's kind of scary. Maybe I should have killed the witch. I don't know, like taking 2 to kill a creature for free just seemed solid. What does this get to do? So they can cast it, so they get to draw a card, lose a life, and then replay it. That's so good. How many rares have they played? Jeez. I guess a lot of powerful uncommons, and then 1 rare. Oh, they gained life with their food? I like that. I very much like that. It's not wrong, I don't think. But I do like it. Now here's where we're gonna get, like... This Mosswood Dead Knight is gonna do some work. Because, like, sure, we trade for it, but now they get to draw another card, replay it. If I find a black sword, if I find a swamp, I can exile it, and then that problem is solved. But they've already gotten value from it. Yeah, here it comes again. And then they found another creature. It's a 3/1. Sure. Okay, well, here's another... Oh, am I just dead? No, I'm not just dead, because they don't even have that much power. I'll sack a rat to deal 4. There's no way they block both. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to trade down like that. Wow. They have a lot of really powerful uncommons. They were definitely drafting the right... Oh, 2 rares. They were definitely drafting the right deck, at the right colors at their table. Alright, what you got, friend? I wouldn't say this is tenuous for them, but like things could go badly. If I draw a swamp, for example. So they have 6 power trampling. I can trade for one of their creatures. I'll trade for the 3/1, obviously. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm going to 1 here. Go to 1. And I don't have an out, right? Because I have to deal with 2 trampling creatures. Plus they have a bunch of life. Oh, okay, cool. Add insult to injury. Why don't you? I don't know why that's there. Yeah. Yeah. 5 mountains in the swamp in a deck with an even split. If I drew a swamp, not at any point, but I drew a swamp to get rid of that rare of theirs. It would have been better, obviously. Oh, was that it? I guess that's it. Well, I guess we're not fixing our deck because that was it. What was our color count anyway? Oh, we had more red than black. It's just the 2 double black spells, and we kept drawing it when we didn't have 2 swamps. Oh well. So yeah. Do we do another one? Do we want to do another one? Yeah, you know what? Let's do another one. Let's open our pack. Oh, we have 6 packs. Oh, let's open them all. Oh, look at all these cards. There's so many cards. All right. Dismiss cards. You're dismissed. All right. How much is a draft? 10k? Oh, we're pretty far. All right. Well, let's do it again. Let's try it one more time. Give it one more go. We got time, right? It took about an hour, but that's also we didn't do very well. Yeah, I mean, I'm certain. I mean, definitely, I made some mistakes in the drafting process. But yeah, like I don't know. Sometimes luck just gets you. All right. All right. Well, we opened a land, so we're probably not gonna take that. Well, I guess it's a creature land, which is pretty good. It's a 2/1 with first strike that attacks to scry 1. Let's see. You can copy adventures. That can be really strong. Compulsion, no. Ashiok's Reaper, we saw like could have been really good. Obera, Human Duelist, Flash Flying would enter. Ooh, that's pretty good. Like, it's a two-color card, so like we're starting off. Well, you know what? We'll start with a benchmark uncommon. It's blue black. Like it tells us to be blue black fairies, but I don't think that's necessarily bad. If we weren't gonna take that, we were probably gonna take Ashiok's Reaper, which is still a similar color. I don't think there's much that really shoves someone into blue. I guess there's a lot of blue and black cards in this pack. No green cards, one white card. Wow, that's actually kind of crazy. All right, we're gonna take it anyway. Another Restless Spire. Interesting. Nightly Valor. I don't think that's where we are. Very off of what we have already. Maybe we don't play what we have already if there's nothing for us though. Text. Okay, that's neat, I guess. So there are no fairies. There's a removal spell. I liked Feed the Cauldron. Water Wings. No, it's bad. Interesting. Yeah, so probably the best card in the pack. Well, Ash is pretty good. Probably the best card in the pack would be like this thing. Yeah, Picnic Ruiner. But we're gonna try to play fairies. Here's Dark Tutelage. There are I'd like to note again no fairies in this pack. A big beefy dragon. It's not bad. I don't hate it. I don't think Dark Tutelage is where we want to be. I think I'd rather have the dragon. Sleight of Hand is cute. We'll just take the dragon. Are there any fairies in this pack? There are no fairies in this pack. What is this? Uh, oh, interesting. This is like moderately okay splash. I mean, maybe we're just not the colors we thought that we were. Looks like blue-green is about big stuff. You can just take a Sleight of Hand. That card's fine. Maybe the Vermin's better anyway. What does this Tabby do? Cole is put in a graveyard, make a rat. This gets Death Touch. I'll take Sleight of Hand. I think. Take Sleight of Hand. Cheeky House Mouse. That's very cute. Soul Guide Lantern. Freeze in place. I actually don't hate that. There's no black spells in this pack. Even if we had taken the green-blue card, there wouldn't be anything here. We can just take Freeze in place. It's okay. It's like, it's okay. It's not a great card. I guess if we didn't take that... Yeah, I guess if we didn't take that, there's still a problem of like... You know what? Maybe just take Torch the Tower? We'll take Torch the Tower. We'll speculate. It's just like, the card is not that good. Okay, this is fine. The Attendants, and it's a fairy. What does the Witch do? Make a Wicked roll. And it's a 2/3. I think I'd rather have the Flying Fairy. My thought was like the tap spell is just it's very meh. Okay, where's another fairy? Starting to see some fairies now. All right, we're back on the fairy plan. And my thought was like maybe if fairies dries up, we do not fairies. But let's see, what is this? It's pretty good removal. Misleading Motes. Maybe we just. I think we just take into the Fey Court. Makes 3 cloud fairies, which triggers Elvira. Yeah, that card's bad. Yeah, we'll take Into the Fey Court. We probably don't want another one of those. Yeah, it's cool. I'm so glad we did that because if we saw both of those cards, if we saw Into the Fey Court here instead of Misleading Motes, I don't even know if it was in this pack because I know we wheeled it. This is our opener. I would have been pretty sad, but given that it went the other way, now we have one of each. Having 2 Misleading Motes would have been fine too. I wouldn't have minded that. I don't think we want Water Wings, but we're not playing any of these other cards. I guess we're not playing any of these cards, but in the like weird instance where we end up like splashing red or something. Enters battlefield. If it was bargained, you can put a cursed roll. I don't know how well we're going to be able to bargain stuff. Because it's sacrifice an artifact, enchantment, or token. We have a couple of tokens. We have this. Whatever. Okay, well the blue-green rare, the blue-green uncommon wield anyway. Now it casts 3 spells. It's okay. It's not worth a splash, I don't think. Especially since we don't have anything like Prophetic Prism. Like, it's not like we're playing green where we can splash stuff easily. And, what's... Oh, yeah, I don't remember what that card does. Hilda's Crown of Winter. Icy Manipulator is a strong card, and it's basically Icy Manipulator. Let's see what stuff what we might want to wheel. The Gatekeeper's okay. Prowler's not where we want to be. I wouldn't mind the Stingblade Assassin just because it's a 3 power flyer and it's a fairy, and even though the effect isn't that great. Black seems very not open. Bitter Chill is good. Frolicking Familiar is okay. I think I'd rather have Bitter Chill. What the hell is Season of Growth? It's a strong card, not for us, but it's a strong card. Shatter the Oath is really good, but I think Bitter Chill does the same thing better. So we're gonna take it, even though like taking some black cards would be nice, given that black seemed pretty dry. I mean, maybe we just splash Obira, or maybe not even play it, and we can look at some other color. I think the only thing I'm certain of is that we're playing blue, but we might not. I guess I guess we might not be playing black. We have some cool stuff going on here. There's a good removal spell. A good it's like a medium. It's a good spell, but whether it's removal or not is uncertain. It ends up being a 1-for-1, but they might have the same creature back. I like Hilda's Crown of Winter. It's been a long time since people have played with Icy Manipulator. It's easy to forget how strong it is in a limited environment. We'll see. If we get to play with it, we'll likely see how good it is. Our black is just Obira and Feed the Cauldron. Whereas we could play green for like Troyan and Skybeast Tracker. Neither of which I hate. What is this? When it attacks, you may pay 2, tap on a creature opponent controls, and when you do that, when you tap on tap creature opponent controls, it gets 2/1 until end of turn. I actually like that. Freeze in place, tap a thing. Oh, okay, yeah, one of those is not good. Where's Griffinary? Oh, it's good if we can gain life, but we don't think we can. I don't like Living Lectern very much. I guess the only cards I really want to play are blue here. We'll take the Ice Rot Sentry. Here we are. All our 3 mana spells again. As Foretold. Ooh, that could be good. Succumb to Cold. Tap. Oh, I like Succumb to Cold. Another Obira? Hold on. Maybe we're about it. Okay, we'll take... I don't think As Foretold is actually all that good. We'll take Obira. This gives us two of those. How many fairies do we have? We have 3 fairies. Maybe we should just take Succumb to the Cold. I'll take Succumb to the Cold. Alright. Well, I'm not sure if that was right. I don't hate Shrouded Shepherd. We can just play the adventure part of that. It's battlefield. Each opponent discard a card and lose 2 life. When it's put in a graveyard, scry 2. You can pay 3 to sack it. That's fine, I guess. Beanstalk Worm. I think we actually might be abandoning black. It's just so dry. And we have like some good incentive to play green. What is this thing? Okay. Okay, let's take a look at what our deck might be if we play green. We increase our mana, our curve, which is not great. Ground Seal is probably bad. Charade of Numbing Depths works really well with some of what we have already, but can we play white? I'm not sure. Turn a permanent to its own, an online permanent to understand, draw a card, and it costs 2 less to cast if bargained. I don't hate that. Charade. I don't think we're gonna be in white. It seems like the color we're least likely to play. Ooh, I do like Disdainful Stroke. Sleight of Hand is worse than Disdainful Stroke. All of these cards. Red seem... Well, there's a lot of red cards, but they're not that good. So it's not even that red is open. It's just there's a lot of bad red cards. Let's see. Draw 4 cards and discard 2. It's pretty good. When you cast a big spell, tap target creature and opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. I like that, actually. This is a 2/3 defender. If you have a 4-power creature at the start of combat, it gets 1/0 and can attack. I think it's just the giant. Prowler, when you cast a big spell, put 2/1/1 counters on it. Oh, wow, that's a lot of power. What is this? Create a monster roll token. I think I'd rather have the Prowler. Is this a fairy by chance? That's a human. Another payoff for big green creatures, but I don't know if that's what we want. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, we don't have those. I'll take the Prophetic Prism, though. Diminisher Witch. Oh, we have one of those, and I don't mind it. I think I'd rather have another Misleading Motes than Into the Fey Court. Even though Into the Fey Court does help us bargain, and we have a couple of cards with bargain. Let's see. Feral Encounter. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You can exile a creature from among them. Put the rest on the bottom. You can cast that card this turn. Ew. At the beginning of the next combat phase, it deals damage. Okay. Alright, we're moving on from that. Quick Study isn't bad, but we have so many 3-mana spells. I guess, like, what else are we going to take out of here? We can do a little splashing because of a Prophetic Prism, but not a ton. Commune with Nature. How many creatures do we have? Hello? Oh. We have 11 creatures. I'll take the Quick Study. I don't know if we'll play it. Our blue is really... Oh, Parallel Lives? How many tokens do we make? We have just... I think it's just the Into the Fey Court. Oh, I guess Sky Beast Tracker. Am I playing any of these other cards? Definitely not playing that. Can't be... I don't think we are. We can take, like, Evolving Wilds instead. I think I'm going to take Parallel Lives and speculate, and then we're going to try to prioritize things that make tokens. Stormkill Vanguard, I think, is very good for where we want to be. Spreading Seas is cute, but no, we're not playing it. Okay. Play the Vanguard. And I think at this point we're, like, committed. Archive Dragon is fine, but we don't have that much in the way of... we already have a lot in the way of big stuff. Remember, it's 5 or more. I think I'd rather have Into the Fey Court. And does this care about if you cast a creature? Or it's just any spell? Yeah, I think Into the Fey Court is where we want to be instead. We can definitely get rid of this at this point. Buyer's Attendance is not bad. Return from the Wilds. I do like Return from the Wilds. I think that's what we want. Hopefully the Attendance comes back. I want to be able to cast our big spells as part of it. This thing's good, right? Ends battlefield. Yeah, this card is like not bad. Cast an instant sorcery spell. You can make a sorcerer. Ooh, how many instant sorceries do we have? 9. It's probably don't want to do that. I think I just want the thing to do early. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. Forced Fruition is not where we want to be. Jeez. Oh, Threadbind Click is like a good thing to... Oh, never mind. We're going to take another Troyan. Troyan can help us cast all these big spells. Beanstalk Worm is not bad for having another big thing to cast. Tap target creature, crit cursed roll. I don't hate that, but I think the Beanstalk Worm is better. We're just going to try to go big. I don't think we're playing this. I don't think we need the Prophetic Prism. We'll just play a decent amount of forests. I don't think we're playing any of these cards. What's Mocking Sprite? Instants and sorceries cost 1 less. That might be a cut. We'll see. Diminisher Witch. I just don't think we're going to be able... I don't think we have enough to bargain with.
I don't think we want a third Beanstalk Worm. We already have how many cards? 7 cards that cost 5 or more. Oh, we really didn't wheel like anything out of this. I mean, Curiosity's cute, but I don't think it's actually good. We'll take it though. Okay, I like that. The Vanguard is whatever. I just don't want to cut from the bottom of the card. Maybe Diminisher Witch we can at least cut one of. Because I don't know how well we can bargain it. Only thing we have that makes token... What is this? Trigger to a 1/3 and reach. Untap it. Okay, that's probably not good. I remember when combat tricks were good. Yeah, we just never... Like, a lot of stuff just didn't really come together. Alright. I think we can cut this Parallel Lives. The only thing that we have that makes tokens is we have 2 into the fake. Or well, let's double check. Let's see. Diminisher Witch technically makes a token, but part of the thing with rolls don't roll say like you have to you'd like to. Wait, I guess it doesn't say anywhere. Hold on. Oh yeah, if a creature has more than one role controlled by the same player attached to it, all but the most recent one is put in the graveyard. It's weird that it's just like attached to the subtype. Oh, that's so bad. Wizards, come on. That's such bad formatting. So yeah, this can make a token, but it doesn't matter that there are 2 of them because it'll destroy one of them automatically. This is also on the fence. Return from the Wilds makes a token, but like that's not a big deal. Yeah. I guess Skybeast Tracker makes tokens. And we into the fake horror. Yeah, it's just not enough to justify it. I think we can cut this Mocking Sprite. I didn't really look at what our instant sorceries are, but we're trying to do some big stuff here. Diminisher Witch is also kind of questionable because bargaining is going to be really difficult. We have to sacrifice artifact, enchantment, or token. Do we have sacrificable enchantments? Like Bitter Chill's not really sacrificable. Like I guess we can if we're desperate, but we can't rely on that obviously. This makes a token we can sacrifice. It's just the token stuff. I guess that might be enough. It'd be nice to have. It'd be nice to have access to a cursed roll token, I guess is what I'm saying. No, I think we can cut it. And then we got to make one more cut. We don't need a second sleight of hand. That's fine. And how's our land count? Yeah, we have twice as much blue as green, but we do have a double green spell and some green stuff we want to do early. And our double blue is towards the end. I just don't want a game where I draw like 4 forests. So we'll try 10-7, but maybe we'll come back to it. Not confident about how these drafts have been going. Man, my drafting is just like nothing is coming together recently. I wonder what I need to change about my approach and my thinking to solve for that. It's a little land light. We're on the play, but if we find our 3rd land, this hand does a lot of cool stuff. Even finding land 3 to go Troyan into the Fey Court. Okay, there's land 3. Hey, look, we found 2 forests and not 2 islands. Hopefully that's not going to be that big of a deal. What does this do? Makes a... Okay, we found a second item. Cool. We're going to play Troyan. This is 7 mana for the adventure. We might not adventure it. I'm debating I guess I don't want to cast into the Fey Court next turn because we'll have to discard a card. I guess we're not casting into the Fey Court next turn because we don't have the mana for it. Enters the battlefield, you may pay 2. When you do tap on a creature, opponent controls put a stun counter on it. Okay, sure. Okay, well this worm isn't doing anything for me now. We can play the Crown and then just, if we draw a land, start jamming without Troyan because we don't technically need it, right? Yeah. I don't mind getting the crown down. And then, like, oh, on their upkeep, I should have tapped their mana creature. That was a mistake. They have a 6/5 sitting out here. Just draw. Wow, that's annoying that they have that immediately. Okay, well, I guess we'll tap the mana creature in case they wanted to use it for like an instant or something, or like something on my turn. Yeah. Wow, they're just playing that card. Okay. Oh, okay. So I guess tapping that creature was as good as anything else. And now we can just start jamming our 5-mana spells. I'm gonna start with the worm. There's a non-zero chance we actually cast Storm Reading. We'll see. Hey, they have their own Troyan. Guess this is kind of the mirror, though they might be splashing black. Becomes a black 4/4 black green horror, and when it attacks, you make a food and exile a card from a graveyard. Okay, that's pretty good. Do I want to draw 3 cards? Ooh, yeah, I guess I do. Try to hit a land. Spell Stutter. Well, that's annoying. I'm gonna attack for 5. Wow, it's good for them to have here. Alright, what do they got? They can cast their 6/5, which is what they're doing. Okay. That doesn't bother me. My 5/4 can easily annoy that out of relevance. I just want to hit my land. Alright, we're going to try to hit a land here. Alright. Hit a land. Play a land. No attacks. Wait, what? Oh, it only makes 1. I thought it made 3 of these things. That makes sense, I guess. But also, I was valuing this card too highly because I misread what it does. That's... Alright, my bad. Okay, next turn we're likely going to be playing a bunch of small spells to prep for some big spells. Okay, well this goes in front of here, and then we take heat. Alright, they're out of gas now. We have 7 mana. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll hold Disdainful Stroke in case they draw something big. Oh, we're probably just going to have to take 6, which sucks. I guess 7. Okay, they're looting, so they do something not good. We're a little bit on the back foot, but I think we can turn it around. We might like Misleading Moats the Gatekeeper, which gives them the adventure again, but that adventure's not that big a deal. Oh, they got something big here. Oh, were they trying to activate their land, maybe? Oh, wait, what? Oh, this makes a mana of any color if you do it that way. Okay, we're gonna have to chump block something. So we'll chump block the 6/5. Okay. That's a little annoying. We'll take 5 down to 4. But if that's their plan, I think we have stuff we can do about it. This is gonna make mana this turn. Just cast this. And then we have Misleading Moats. Oh, now we end our other worm untapped. Okay. This is a little rough, but I think we have outs here. I really don't want to have to Disdainful Stroke this turn. So I hope they don't cast anything that makes me do that. Maybe I should have played the giant first so we could stun like the gatekeeper or something when I cast the worm. Okay, if they're animating their land, that's great for me. Okay, they're just sending everything. That actually works out worse for them than they want it to. Okay, moats. That thing. Pretty likely to put on top, which is actually pretty good for me because I'm going to Disdainful Stroke it on the way back down. It's block, take 2 down to 2, which is a little bad. Don't get me wrong. It's not where I want to be. So we have a decent amount of mana here. Is this an instant? It is an instant, but I don't think we have the mana for it, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. 7, 8, 9. I guess we kind of do. But no, I think I'd rather make a human into food. That should keep me alive. And then... yeah, no attacks, end turn. It's a little tenuous. I need to draw like a little something. I need something with a little bit of oomph. But if I can find it, should be okay. Now they have to decide if they want to... okay, they do want to bounce my token. That makes sense. Okay, they're going to draw a card and discard a card. Okay. Oh, I can still cast this. That's funny. I guess if they don't cast their 6/5, then I will cast Storm Reading. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they can't cast this. Oh, Collector's Vault's a little better than I thought it was. I thought you had to sacrifice it for some reason. To draw a card, discard a card, and make a treasure. I don't know. They make a lot of bad cards like that right now. Okay, they're sending. Yeah. I'm gonna go block, take 1. I don't love going to 1, but we have 3 life in our back pocket. Now we now we cast Storm Reading. We can discard Troyan plus the Vanguard. The Vanguard gets discarded just because I can rebuy it when I play Bitter Chill. I guess I do want the land. The second Troyan's not helpful. Yep, there we go. Cool. Let me go. Okay, I would have liked to draw something that I can trigger the giant with. And we do have to keep up 2 mana for Disdainful Stroke, which means I don't get to Bitter Chill this turn, but I guess I don't really want to anyway. And we can start attacking again. We're likely going to draw and discard with Troyan this turn. Get rid of this island. That's actually kind of an engine I didn't realize. The Troyan plus the 3/1, what's it called? The Red Tooth Vanguard. I don't have that many enchantments to proc it, but when we do, it ends up being like 3 mana draw card, you know? Do I Disdainful Stroke that? Yeah, I have a better answer to the creature than the cards. You countered 1 spell, Al countered 1 spell. I suffered for it before, you're suffering for it now. Freeze in place. Sure. Okay. I'll buy them a pretty significant amount of time, but we have Bitter Chill for the giant when it comes back. Balluna's Gatekeeper. Top. That is concerning. Alright, let's... whoops. Undo that. Let's draw a card and discard this island. Sleight of hand's not bad. When we have this kind of mana. Yeah, I think we're just gonna cast both halves of this. Let's destroy that. Let's cast this monster. Tap your creature. We'll sleight of hand. I'll take the dragon. Yeah, now the hits just keep coming. Yeah, they're in a pretty rough spot. They're on They're in top deck mode. Our board's much better. We're not at risk of dying to their one creature if they could somehow attack with it. Yeah, like Bitter Chill doesn't get their creature through. It doesn't cast. They can't cast their giant either, which is pretty bad for them. Do I want the mana or the card selection from Troyan? I think I want the card selection. Maybe I should have played the dragon first. Alright, let's play the dragon. We can... Yeah. Yeah. They see that as like, okay, alright, all the bombs keep landing. Yeah, and I think... Yeah, it got real close at some point, but I think that was... One, our hitters... We had more hitters because we were prioritizing the card advantage. And our hitters were better just for the draft portion. Like, we're not playing that random 6/5. So when they, like, yeah, we did manage to, like, stabilize just barely. Players at 1 are annoying, don't you know? Okay, it sounds a little slow, but I'm not gonna send it back. Here we are, 3 forests, 1 island. You know, the classic. Is this an instant? It's a sorcery, destroy an artifact or enchantment. It doesn't much matter. Intangible virtue. Get out of here. Absolutely not. Thank you. Goodbye. Voracious Vermin. I don't know if we're gonna bitter chill that. Or sorry, succumb to cold. It buys us like 6 life. Actually, I think we're gonna succumb to cold like this. I think that buys us. It buys us be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 life. All right, that was a little more valuable. I go play Stormcald Prowler. Don't want to trade it for anything. I would love to Disdainful Stroke something this turn. Hey, Lamau. Everything is coming up Millhouse. Alright, yeah, we'll take 1. I guess the question is now, do I trade with, like, Minstrosity? I could take 6 here and then start playing hitters. Yeah, I'm just gonna, yeah, because this thing's gonna be a 6/5 in a couple of turns. So it's hard to sign up for trading it off. Okay. Ow. And then we start playing. Big beefers. We start with this one. 1, it flies, so it blocks their 3/3. 2, it scries, which is great. And 3, it has ward, so it's harder to deal with. I do eventually want the crown. I don't think we want Return from the Wilds. Life total is a little precarious. I'm not attacking because I don't want to trade it for the 3/3. The flyer is pretty well handled by the Archive Dragon, as long as exactly that doesn't happen. But also, it can block the Vermin, and it'll be a 6/5 next turn. So, oh, okay. Well, that's what we want to do. Am I taking 7? I don't love taking 7. Maybe I just chump here. Take 4. Prioritize my life total a little bit. Play this 6/7. Now I don't need to block with my 6/5. They're currently dead on board. If they can just play a blocker, right? It's not hard to do. They can, even if they attack with everything, they can still survive. Their Minstrosity can't attack unless they can deal with the 6/7, which is possible. It's not, even just attacking, the food keeps them alive. They could have like Sugar Rush or something. Candy Grapple. Okay, sure. I'll take the 2 for 1. Now we are a little. Now the 3/3 might be a little bit of a problem, except we have this crown. We invested in the future there. Vampiric Rites. So let's do 1 black, sack a creature, gain a life, draw a card. Yeah, it's been pretty good. Let's do this. Let's do this. We can even send for 6 here. And we're pretty stable. We're not out of the woods. We're at 3. They have a source of like they can turn this token into a creature or into a card. We got to do that. If I misclicked, we died. can't imagine you're sacrificing it. No, you're sacrificing the token. That makes sense because it doesn't attack anymore. Not well. Lord Skitter's Butchers. When I enter the battlefield, choose one. Make a rat, sack a creature, scry 2, draw a card. Creature you control get menace. Okay, so they make a rat. That makes sense. Sleight of hand. Let's see if we can find a thing. This is why cantrips are good. Skybeast Tracker, I mean, is better than not Skybeast Tracker, I guess. Let's loot. Discard a forest. Play the tracker. So another line of defense. I mean, the Vampiric Rites are going to go to work here. The good news is, like, while we're, like, just treading water against what our opponent is up to, we're treading water while attacking for 6 every turn. It's not just, like, stay alive and hope to find a way out of it. It's stay alive, hope to find a way out of it, and also pressure their life total. Like, at some point, they have to care about this attack. Okay, not really what I'm here for. Oh my god. The lands. So if I tap the Scream Puff, I'm just dead, right? So I guess I have to offer the trade. What does this thing do? When it deals combat damage to a player, create a food. Okay, so it's never doing that. Yeah, and their block isn't that... I guess I can't even attack. Wow, that sucks. Yeah, okay. They drew something. I drew a lot of nothing. Let's see if we can find, like, anything. Okay, that's not that big a deal. Each creature... Okay, that's... Okay, fine. It's like a mythic, but it doesn't do anything right now. Oh, I just clicked through. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I clicked through, because I have a reach creature, but I did just click through. Ashiok's Reaper, sure. If I draw one big spell, like, Into the Feywilds would be insane. Alright. Into the Fey Court. Exactly the card I literally asked for. Thank you, deck. I appreciate you. Let's tap for this a little bit differently. I have an island in my hand. This also makes a food. Makes a chump blocker if I need it. Misleading Modes isn't bad. I think we're going to play the Sentry, though. And now we're in a pretty good spot. In retrospect, given what I found, I would have liked to have made mana with Troyan, but I really wasn't sure at the time, and I was like, oh, I might need the blocker. Okay, do I have to pay? I have to pay... Oh, no, I don't have to pay to buff it. It just gets buffed. Okay, so this thing is just going to be a 4/4. Okay, this spot's pretty good. Bitter Chill. Bitter Chill is interesting. I can make them sacrifice a creature, basically. Because they're not going to... I mean, they're absolutely not going to let this resolve. They might as well sacrifice the creature to their rights, so I don't get my triggers. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So go to 6. Now I Misleading Motes this thing. I think they sack this too. Go to 7. Then I can tap their creature. I guess I might as well do it. I might as well tap their creature with the Sentry's trigger. Yeah, we're not at risk to dying to the 3/3 because of the crown. It's a little risky because I'm tapping out of being able to use the food. They probably sack this 2, go to 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're exactly dead. Okay. I didn't do the math. I was really worried about it, but I think it works out even if they weren't dead here. But they go to... Oh, no, they don't. This isn't 4, right? Sorry, they go to 2. They go to 2. I might as well play this land. Just in case something weird happens. Now... They have a bunch of cards in their hands, but that was in exchange for their board. So it's like kind of even. That's really good with the village or the vampiric rites. These vampiric rites are doing a lot of work. Wow, that card's good in a situation like this. I think we can beat it, but I am very impressed with what that card has been doing. They're gonna sack it. That's interesting and surprising. I wonder if they're just on nothing in hand? Oh, I guess they're like pretty dead to this board is why. Okay, I want to shore up my abilities here. Okay. Discard that. Play this. Now they're never winning. At least I don't think so. Let's tap this. Ice Manipulator is a strong card. Like, look how long we survived because we have this card. And now, like, now we turn it into, okay, I don't think we needed to kill the blocker, but now, you know, you don't have a blocker. And this is multiple games where we're winning at, like, almost no life. I think that's just how this deck's going to work out. It's scary, though. I will say, it is scary how close we get to dying. Especially because I don't think we have our ability to keep ourselves alive is as strong as I'd like it to be. Like, because it is so close. Like, if I were ending games at 5, okay, fine, but not like almost lethal. I'm trying to see if there's anything. Just want to do a quick evaluation. Like, is there anything that's not really working? Anything that we could like replace with something better? Return from the Wilds has been so far the least. It has been like kind of underwhelming when we found it, but we've also found it late in the game where we can't really get it, and the one time where we can't really take advantage of the first mode. That said, the one game where we did cast it, it kept us alive. I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, we would die without it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that really gets better. I'm glad I think our density of big stuff is right. Okay, this is working. It's just the games are close. You know, we're winning by inches, and that's why I wanted to see if there's something, if we could improve on that. I don't think we can. I think that's just where we're trying to win by inches. That's what we're doing. Now in competitive Magic, obviously that's kind of what you're trying. That's kind of how things are. Yeah, that sounds great. But you know, in like Commander or whatever, you win by miles, and so. And even in competitive Magic, you can win by miles. You don't sign up to win by inches. Okay. Hopeful Vigil, sure. I'm not going to trade with this. Man, we keep finding this Beanstalk Worm at times where we're just absolutely not able... We just cannot take advantage of plant beans. It's a 5/4 reach. That said, 5/4 reach has been very good for us so far. Now, our opponent can be unsure. They might be like... They might wonder if I didn't attack because I didn't want to trade. Or sorry, because I did want to trade, right? Because if they don't, I can attack, they choose not to block, and they attack past me. We did it because we don't want to trade. We can take 2 to keep what will end up being pretty big. When it dies, make a hero, sure. And then just to use our mana, because I want a Disdainful Stroke next turn, we can tap these. So lets us attack for 2 and saves us a few life next turn. I do need to draw 1 more land off the top. I'm very glad we drew that one, but we do need 1 more. Would love to Disdainful Stroke something this turn. Roar. Ooh, scary. right, come on. Cast a big thing. Hey, Lamau. So far, we've been getting paid out. This is why I like to sample stroke. Oh, perfect. Deck, I love you. You're perfect. Never change. I think I want to... I'll start with Into the Fey Court. I was kind of torn. I was like, maybe we want the body on the board first. The reason I didn't do that is now this 4/3 blocks their 2/2. They can... I'll take 3 or whatever. I guess... yeah, so I don't... I guess if I played the 5/4, I can block both things. But I want to get the cards out of the way while we're not getting pressured that hard. Return another permanent to your hands. Draw 2. Oh, that's pretty good. Solid synergy. Yeah, it's good stuff. Basically has like kicker, make a 2/2, scry 2 in this case. Like I would pay that kicker. Hell yeah. Top bottom. All right, then replay the vigil. Makes sense. They have an attack for 3. We'll just take 3. And then I was actually kind of hoping to draw a land here. Why does it say 2 mana? Shouldn't it be 4 mana unless we bargain it? Cost modified. I'm not really sure. Yeah, that's really... Oh, because we can bargain the token. I guess we might. So we have 6 mana here. If we had drawn a land, we could do both halves of Beanstalk Worm. Since we can't, I think I just want to cast the Beanstalk Worm. Yeah, let's just cast this 5/4. And then we can send the 6/5. They can triple block. I'll trade their board for it, and the attacking with the fairy is free. It's not blocking anyway. Yeah, I'm okay with this trade. I think they might be also, but I guess in a roundabout way, we ended up trading it just for trading it for that token. But we traded for the token and what came out of the Celebrant. So we kind of traded for both of these cards. Not exactly, but close. Enters the battlefield, turn target creature enchantment for your graveyard to your hand. Okay, that's a good hit. And then when enchantment you control is putting... That's a lot of recursion synergy. What do I want to discard? I guess the attendance. It's the weakest thing. But we have a lot of cards. We can draw a lot of cards from here, so it's not a huge deal. But yeah, now they can Fell Horseman back the stockpiling Celebrant. Then the Celebrant can pick up the Horseman, and yeah, they have a lot of synergistic loops. We can attack with the team. What does this do? When it's enchantment, okay. Yeah, they're not blocking with that. Do I want to... I guess what do I do with the rest of my turn? Probably Fey Court plus Johann Stopgap. What's this doing now? When it dies? Okay. Yeah, so let's start with the Into the Fey Court. Yeah, okay. We'll attack. I would love to get paid out with the cards on Storm Reading. I'm just a little worried that if the game goes long, that they'll get to... Wait, is this... Oh, it just goes to the graveyard. I'm just a little worried that if the game goes too long, they'll get to loop their recursion enough to overwhelm the size of my cards with the quantity of theirs. They can theoretically get kind of an infinite number of cards here. It just costs them a lot of mana. That's not exactly the way you do it. If I had an enchantment here, I might be interested in discarding the Red Tooth Vanguard. I guess I should count my mana. I have 8 mana if I keep my land. Doesn't really let me do anything I couldn't do otherwise. I guess it lets me go cast this, this, and this, but I think we're going to cast the Stopgap this turn anyway, and I'm not discarding the Galvanic Giant so I can keep all the stuff to cast it. Oh, okay, they didn't pick up their Nightmare anyway. They picked up their make a 2/2. Okay, take 3. Wait, is this a... Oh, it's a sorcery? Ew. Okay, well, today we learned. Let's Let's go ahead and attack with everything. And now they're gonna block. Probably double block. In which case, I will motes the token. Okay, so just chump blocking. Okay. So we can play this Vanguard. Probably going to cast the motes this turn, which means this has to be bargained. Okay. This returns target creature or enchantment. I guess we still want to put this on top. The big problem that they have is mana right now. So, like... Wait, what? Doesn't it put on... Oh, it's to its owner's hand and I draw a card. Oh, this was the one that puts it on top or bottom. Okay. I guess they can get a lot of loops off of this. But the mana is their big problem. So pressure plus making them spend more to get their engine going. Maybe that's good. I don't know. And then we'll cast the motes. I might not be sequencing this that well. What do they get back? Oh, they only have the protective parents, which is okay, but is that worth it? Okay, resolve that. I actually might not even want to cast the motes this turn. Maybe I should have just storm reading. Okay. They can't really double block, right? Because they'll... If they double block, then this can start their engine again. But what if their double blocks are really bad? I can just charge them a bunch of mana. Yeah, I guess they're... Okay, let's... Yeah, we'll misleading motes that. Still cost them a card, right? They're not going to draw a new card next turn. They're going to draw that if they put it on top. It's rough, because their engine is... I'm trying to figure out how to disrupt it, and I'm not doing it, which makes everything worse. Okay, we definitely need to cast this. Might be too late in the game for Troyan. Leaving Forest untapped is worse than leaving Island untapped, but it's okay, because we have another island to play. The Crown is very good. Okay, let's put the pressure on. They can trade for the 3-1. I don't have a way of getting it back right now either, but that still has them take one from it. They're taking the full, like they're taking the rest of it, and while like they can loop stuff again, it costs them, right? It costs them mana to rebuild their board. I'm just trying to keep them off of the increase the amount of mana they have to pay to reestablish a board while having their loop going. They can deal with my board a little bit more easily by what does this do? Deals 3 damage. Oh, it's destroy it anyway. Okay, that kind of sucks because that was all of our power. All right, we'll take the bitter chill, I guess. It's not good, but we'll take it. That might be enough for them to win it because now we don't have any power on the board anymore, and now this gets back the Celebrant. Then they Hopeless Nightmare. Sure, I don't care about that. We're probably gonna bitter chill this thing. That's not bad. Let's see. We have 9 mana, so that's 5 here. We can just Crown of Winter. Oh no, actually, hold on. We play Celebrant plus the Worm. Or not Celebrant, the Galvanic Giant. I forgot about the Giant. Okay. So now we have a lot of power on the board again. It's weird because we're at a lower life total from like early attacks plus Hopeless Nightmare. Pick up the Hopeless Nightmare? Sure. I'll just discard Troyan, I think. I think Troyan's time is over. Top, I don't like that. They have their own Crown of Winter? Alright, well, I do have a Disenchant in my deck. Let's see if I can find it. That's not it. Oh, getting this off the table is pretty... Actually, Bitter Chill here. Bitter Chill there actually keeps it... turns off their engine. Because now it's not really able to do its thing, even though it's not in the graveyard. And then we can we can go to combat. And they'll tap my 5/4. Attack here. Then play Vanguard plus Sentry. This is a tough game. There've been a lot of tough games this draft. So now we have a board. Okay, now we can discard Troyan. I think Troyan's time is over. This is 6 life we lost to this thing. It's pretty annoying. We can play the Crown next turn, provided this thing doesn't somehow come back into play. And then the Crown plus the Sentry makes it really hard for them to block, plus this thing is big. Probably not, because they're likely to tap the Sentry with the Crown. Maybe the Worm is bigger by itself. We'll see. I think what I'll do is I'll wait to use the Crown until after Declare Attackers. Because if they let me attack with the Sentry... Okay, that's probably going to eat the Sentry. Or do you eat the Worm? Well, again, I have a Naturalize in my deck. I only have the one, so I can't kill both of these things. God, they have so much value. There's so much card advantage in their cards. I think it's possible to beat this. It's just not going to be easy. Okay. Well, this is where Troyan would be kind of nice, because we could try to turn this island into something else. Play the Crown, so it's not susceptible. Whoa, that was it? Oh, they don't... Was that lethal? Wait, that was a very surprising concession. Hold on, let's look at what's going on here. If I tap their creature, they tap my 5/4, 3, 6, 7. Oh, it's exact. Never mind. Okay, I just didn't do the math. I'm like, okay, we gotta grind this out for a few more turns, not realizing, nope, that was just enough. Okay, that end made sense. It did surprise me though. All right, cool. 3-0. Every one of these games has been such a fight, such a battle. Oh man, good games for sure, but it's a lot. It's an effort. We're not just like, oh, here's my no problem, I just roll over you win, like we did with our last deck, which, well, went 3-3. So far it did worse. Yeah, this hand seems good. We have Troyan into a couple of big things. My deck likes to scare me. Oh, whoops. I accidentally put a stop there. Likes to scare me about oh, here are your 2 forests and 1 island. This card's good, but I'm not super worried about it. It might end up being a problem. Well, it's a thing to do, I guess. I'm actually even okay with trading this. Truth be told. Even though my creature is better, we take so long to win the game that this 1/1's gonna poke a lot. And we're unlikely to kill with something just hit you with mid-rangey creatures. Scry 2. I'm really unsure as to whether this is a good card. This strikes me as the kind of card that would generally be bad, but I don't know. Stuff cares about food, and Scry's not bad. Another Dream Thief. Wow, you're gonna... Probably gonna surveil to the top here, right? Or is it when it dies? Oh, no, they just... Why didn't it... Is it a May? It just didn't say they surveilled. That's why I'm like, what happened? Alright, I'll offer the trade. If they want to trade, they can trade. Play Troyan. And then next turn, we can even play our 6/7 or into the Fey Court. I keep wanting to say Into the Feywilds. Also, I have no idea why I thought it made 3 fairies. Well, it's like, that's a little ridiculous to think that. Now I have to be a little worried about what Troyan can power out. I underestimated, by the way, the second ability of Troyan, because I was just like, okay, I guess it's like a big mana dork, right? You can spend you get 2 mana off of it. This has to be for big stuff, sure. Not realizing like, okay, then when you've run out of big hitters to play, you can filter out the random stuff you don't need into more big hitters. I think I want to Into the Fey Court. Again, get the cards while I can. There's a chance I also want to hold the Disenchant just in case we need it. Stop leaving a green open. Okay. If I draw, okay. I was just thinking if I drew Sleight of Hand, I'll get punished for not doing it manually. Sure, you can use the Dream Thief. That's part of why I didn't care. I was like, okay, yes, they get their card advantage off of the Dream Thief. However, theoretically, we can get the Vanguard back at some point. We have a couple of enchantments, and I have, like, draw 3s with Into the Fey Court, you know? Elusive Otter. Distribute external encounters. Okay. Okay, no blocks. We'll just moats. We'll use the misleading moats on that. We have 5 mana that doesn't get for non big spells. Oh, I wish I could cast this plus moats. I can't. So I guess we're gonna moat it up. What is the front side of this? Prowess, creatures with power less than it can't block it. Sure, I don't care. I guess we can loot with Troyan, but I don't think I even want to do that. So I guess we're just attacking? That seems really weird. I guess we'll just attack for 2. If they play a creature pre-combat, which they are pretty unlikely to, is usually not a good idea, we can succumb to cold instead of misleading moats, but okay, they didn't, so we'll just moats. They're not playing blue, so I'm not worried about a counterspell here. Maybe there's some, like, thing that gives hexproof. That would suck. Okay, just put it on top. Fine. It's like 1.5 for 1. But they got the deal for it with it. Sentinel of Lost Lore. When it enters the battlefield, choose 1 or more. Return a creature you own in exile as an adventure to your hand. You don't have that. Put target card you don't own in exile as an adventure on the bottom of its own library. No, exile target player's graveyard. Okay, so just exile my graveyard. Which, like, is not nothing. The Red Tooth Vanguard. It was in there. Okay, so now I have 6 mana, not including Troyan. Which means I can return from the wilds plus succumb to cold. Which I might want to do, actually. Yeah, I'm okay with that. The question is what I do with Return to the Wilds. In which case, if I'm wondering about that, maybe I just jam my 6/5 or my 6/7. I guess there's no world where I'm not just attacking first. I still want to succumb to cold on their turn if I do it. It'd be in their upkeep. I can also hold up moats, or I can even cast this 3/4. Maybe we go. Okay, maybe we just go return from wilds. Get. My life total is not that much of an issue right now. I think I'm going to get a land and a human. The land is partially for the deck thinning, just so I don't have to draw it later. It helps me cast some of these spells that Troyan doesn't cast. I don't think I'm going to... yeah, I'm not going to succumb to cold. More likely, I'm going to Obira's attendant... Use the Desperate Party to fog this attack. Just get that, like, tiny bit of value. And then I can cast the 3/4 next turn. I mean, I could have just cast the 3/4 this turn. It's not a big deal to get the -4/-0, especially because I don't have 4 power to block the Sentinel and like really punish the attack. I just keep thinking, like, I'm just keep being worried that I'm going to need the disenchant on the Stormcalm Vanguard. This is another thing I know is, like, sometimes in... Okay. This is a spell was guarding target thing because of 3/3 and you get a basic land. Okay, sure. I don't care about that. I get a little obsessed with, like, getting every ounce of value out of a card that I can. Oh, they are playing blue. Okay, they were missing a color this whole time? Alright, well, they get the Dream Thief back. I don't care about that. Oh, I can even use Troy on this turn, but I like all my cards. I don't think I'm going to. I get a little obsessed about getting every ounce of value, so I'm like, oh, I gotta cast both halves of this. Maybe I could have just cast the 3/4. But this also gives me another draw to find one of my few cards that pays me off for casting big spells. So I have 7, 8, 9 mana if I want it, which means I can cast this plus motes, which is what I'm going to do. We can attack with the 1/1. That's free. If they want to trade their Dream Thief for it, I don't care. It's not like their Dream Thief is going to attack into my 3/4. Yeah, there we go. So they got to trade for a token and get a card out of this. I think that is not enough value to have paid a card draw off of the motes. I think they should have just put it on bottom. They still have this Otter hanging out at some point. I don't think I care about that very much. Oh, I guess I say still. They didn't have blue mana before. Oh, they were really just playing... Well, I guess it's not Thrive. It's because it's all one creature. They have a few cards. I have a few cards. I have these motes. I have the misleading motes to answer, like, a thing. I don't care about the Sentinel, so I'm not going to target that. If I don't need to cast it, I guess I can Succumb to Cold them, so I can get a few attacks in. And now we have a target for our Disenchant, by the way. I don't know if it was worth it. Maybe it would have been better to just have the 6/7 jammin' already, but now we have a target. We get to pick up a card for free, basically, because we held it. Lord Skitter's Butcher. I don't care about it. I'm just curious what does it do? Make a 1/1 or sack a creature to scry 2, draw a card, or your creature's gain menace. Well, it's not going to be menace. Okay, they make a rat. Sure, I don't care about the rat. Do I use the motes on anything? I guess not. Do I Succumb to Cold anything? I guess I can Succumb to Cold there too. These two random creatures. And then we go Disenchant. I know it's not Disenchant. Bear Down. Okay, Bear Down is a good name there. Given that is a bear rider. Let's make some mana. And then we can send with both of these. We have a dragon to follow up with. I'm really glad I took this dragon, by the way. I remember there was some other thing where it was like, it's kind of close between these things. I was like, I don't know, this is a dragon. Well, we'll see. Big dragons are good. As it turns out, I was correct. You can bargain their tokens to fight my 3/4. That's good. That's very good for them. Yeah, I think we just, okay, let's start with looting with Troyan. I don't know if I'll probably discard the backup Troyan. The land's probably more useful, honestly. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna go play lands. We have 5, 6, 7 mana. I'm probably just gonna play the dragon, which means we can attack. Play the 6, 7, and then next turn, when Troyan can make mana, we can into the Fey Court to refill. Yeah, gain 3, but now they're under a lot of pressure. A lot of big hitters here. I guess if actually, I think I will take Sleight of Hand, because if Johan's Stopgap isn't good, we can take the card underneath it. It's probably good, and then we'll end up paying like an extra mana for that for no reason. But I think we have the mana. Not to mention we have Into the Feywilds, so like if we, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it much matters. I think it's fine to keep both of those. I guess maybe if we had like one more big hitter, that'd be kind of nice. Sometimes I do like barely get the next big thing in time, but the flip side of that is we don't want to be inundated with 5-6 drops in hand or whatever. Like, can you imagine how bad it would be have an opening hand of lands Troyan, or not even Troyan, like land like some random thing, and then 4 5-mana spells. You're just like, can we keep this? I don't think we can keep it, Especially if 2 of those are like into the Fey Court, which remember doesn't affect the board at all. It's good card advantage, but if you're behind on board, you can't waste time on that. I wonder if they're intentionally roping me or they're thinking. Because they did hover a card, but sometimes people do just like get mad that they lose, and so they run out the clock just to cost you. I guess not. No. Wait, how did they? Oh, the Sentinel put it back in their hand? I didn't realize. 11/11 trample. We will take 11. Well, that sucks. I guess I should have held up the moats. I thought the Otter was in their hand, not, or was in their exile. I guess I misunderstood. Oh, okay. Yeah, they did. All right. Well, are they dead? They are dead. I just have to cast the moats to do it. Let's put the stopgap in my hand, or I guess I can cast the stopgap. Because the Vanguard can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, and the dragon is flying, so Yep. I guess the dragon doesn't need to have flying when the Vanguard attacks for their life total. So I guess they were thinking, because they were like, they had an attack for 11 there. The question was, can they get through for the rest of it? I was at 16, so I went to 5, but it's not just that they need 5 more power, because I can block 7 damage out of the Trampler if I need to. Commander Kev. Alright, all islands, no forest. We can find a forest, especially with sleight of hands. My deck heard me complaining about drawing too many forests, so it said, what if not that? Cool, found the forest. Alright, we're off to the races. This hand's great. I guess the question is Troyan or Return from the Wilds. I think it's actually Return from the Wilds. Well, that's scary. The reason being, I don't have any big beefers to cast off of Troyan, so I might as well get the land. I'm probably going to want to food this game, honestly, though a 1/1 could block, maybe. I would love a trade here. I can't imagine I'll get one. Gallant, Pie Wielder. First strike is double strike as long as you have... okay, that makes sense. If I had... Oh, I wish I had another 2-mana spell, because I can go plant beans into that spell. Instead, now that I have a 5-mana thing, let's play Troyan. And we're likely going to take a bunch of damage this turn. I'm guessing they're going to be able to trigger Celebration, and then that's going to be in for 7, which is a lot. Shrouded Shepherd. As a battlefield target creature gets 2/2 until end of turn. Oh, that's surprising. Okay, well, I guess they're not getting Celebration. So I could save 2 life by throwing Troyan in front of the Pie Wielder. If they have anything, I get punished pretty hard. I'll just take 6. I'm just a little scared. Okay, there was a pause. Maybe that was right. Okay. I mean, they have a lot of pressure on me right now. All right, towards the tower. Yeah, there it is. Okay. They do have a lot of pressure on me right now. Killing that does help them a decent amount. So I have 4 mana. Oh, I actually can cast both halves of this. So I go to plant beans. Oh, this Return for the Wild has actually ended up being pretty bad. But it's just like, because Troyan is so good. Beanstalk Worm. Alright, let's... They only have 2 cards in hand, which makes it much... That's a problem with Celebration, at least my thought when I was looking at it. It was like, I don't know, if you're triggering it, it becomes progressively harder and harder to do. You need, like, engines. Alright, that's fine. Do you have another spell to cast? If you do, you could get in for some damages here. It says to attack, though, right? When it attacks, okay. This is probably the scariest turn. If things don't go too poorly this turn, we're probably okay. They might... Okay. I think we're alright. That is a great draw. Let's play a land. Now, we can't play Return for the Wilds and the Crown and activate the Crown on their turn. So I guess I have to ask, is it better to not... You know what? I think I'll play Return from the Wilds anyway. Okay, we're definitely playing the Crown. The thing with the Return from the Wilds is, like, I can make up for not being able to tap the Crown by making a 1/1. The thing is, they have a lot of pressure, so I probably want to food this game, and I don't know if I want to cast this for a food and a token. Maybe I don't need the mana. All right, I think I am casting it for a human and a food. It's like the worst. It's weird because, like, the mode you play it for is the first one, but Troyan is just so much better at what at making mana anyway that, like, yeah. I'm not attacking, by the way. Like, I just might as well tap because it's free. Okay, if they can trigger Celebration this turn, it's still bad, or it can be. But that's also in part because I haven't drawn my, like, big card advantage engines. That said, I don't know if I have the time to cast Into the Fey Court necessarily. Not if this Beanstalk Worm can't hold the fort. I'll take the trade with the human. And I'll bite. We'll see what... They have to have a 3 power buff here. I'll bite. Like, they have to have something, but it'd be so hard to find a thing that does that. Oh, okay, a second Torch the Tower. But wait, what did they bargain? Wait, what? Wait, what did they bargain? They didn't have anything to bargain. What the hell? Okay, I don't know what happened there. Oh, I probably should have held the land to loot with Troyan. I'm just so confused as to how they got... Because they need to sack an artifact, enchantment, or token. And they had none of those things. Oh, it just dealt 2. Never mind. It just dealt 2 because it was a 5/4. Never mind. Okay. Suddenly it makes sense again. The world makes sense again. They have a lot of these. 3 Torch the Tower? This card's really good. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, back to not being confused. I am also back to being a little bit behind the 8 ball. Okay. So, okay, just casting the 2/2. Manage the battlefield. Creatures control get 1/0 and haste until end of turn. Okay. Well, it includes itself. That's pretty unfortunate. Alright, let's tap this. Let's moats that. And now I need something. Something pretty good. Into the Fey Court would actually be kind of okay, because their beats are... I don't want to say anemic, but a lot weaker than they need to be. Like, so I'm going to 9 here. They can attack for 4 next turn. The moats... Okay, the moats buys me a little bit of time. Not a lot, because they're, like, they just have a bunch of 2/2s. Notice, by the way, they haven't had Celebration this whole game. It's just so hard to get to happen, you know? I probably am gonna moats the white creature. I don't want to put this back on top because it'll make up for the loss of 2 damage when it's coming to play effects. They don't have black mana, so this is... Oh, I guess this is 4 power when it comes back. Never mind. That was kind of silly. Alright, well, land doesn't... Oh, no, it's not 4 power when it comes back, because I can tap the thing that it buffs. Land is not where I want it to be. Okay, sure. Buff. If this turn they can trigger celebration, I have to make a real choice with the crown. Okay. No, I don't. What would be a good draw here? I think Into the Fake Court might be too late now. Yeah, I'm getting attacked for... Well, I guess 4. I'll go to 1. Okay, Island is not it. Okay. That's 9 lands in my top 15. What did I put on the bottom? Oh, that's right. I took a land over a spell. Yeah. Sure. I think that is definitely enough to make it. I literally couldn't cast anything. Okay, they finally got Celebration. Yeah, I think we lose here. That's rough. Alright. Go to 4. Or go to 1. Take 4. Go to 1. I think we have to draw 3 here. I forgot that it's... I thought it was a tap ability. But we're going to draw 3 with the crown. I drew 2 more lands. Okay. Alright. Thank you, deck. Thank you for all these lands. We kept a 3-lander, right? Yeah, okay. We just drew like lands every turn for the most part. Yeah, that was rough. Magic the Gathering, ladies and gentlemen. And NBs. Alright. There's a part of me that's like, I kind of want to knock off because this is normally when we end, but I don't know, maybe we can finish the draft. Just every game is such a slog. That also makes me less interested in that. Sure, Stinkfist. Alright. That's a name. Sure, we can keep this. If we draw a land, maybe for the first time... I guess it would be for the second time. We got to do it last game. Maybe we can plant beans. Oh, found Troyan. I like how frequently we're drawing Troyan. I will say that. I am a fan. Alright, you got some colors over there. Got a lot of them. Alright. Play our own Red Tooth Vanguard. And obviously we'll take a trade. It sucks that we take 2 from that trade, but just less damage happening to us is where we need to be. Oh, just playing the Otter? Really? That's a little surprising. Oh, okay. Bounce my 3-1. Sure. That's pretty unfortunate, given that... Actually, no. Okay, I was like, well, because I want to play Troyan, and Troyan doesn't block the 3-1 very well, but we can instead plant beans, play an extra land, play the Vanguard, and we can still play the Worm next turn, if that's what we want to do. And still offer a trade. This Giant's better than I thought it was, but I've been like moderately unimpressed. Alright, well, they got the tempo going. Alright, tap my 3-1. Take 4. Then I have... I think we play the Worm. They missed a land last turn, so they have a bunch of spells, but not a lot of mana to cast them. They have what I presume are all their colors. They might need like double green for something, but and I expect they are base green blue and maybe splashing black, maybe even just splashing the land, like we saw the other opponent who had this exact land, the Restless Cottage. If I untap without like anything happening here, I think we're in a really good spot. All right, what does this do? Enters the battlefield, make a royal attached to the creature, so it makes it a 4/2. I'll take 4. I don't want to trade my Worm for it, and we do have things like Johan Stopgap and Misleading Motes. That said, either one it has ward 1. I think. Well, I can also just block it in this turn. So why don't we? I would love to play Troyan. The problem is if we do, we're not doing anything else, and if for whatever reason blocking with the Vanguard doesn't work out, taking another 4 is asking kind of a lot. So maybe we main phase this. Reason being that if they put it on top, it means they're still not drawing a land, which means I won't want this Disdainful Stroke anyway, which is another consideration of like, oh, what if we need this Disdainful Stroke? Okay, so they put it on bottom. I think I still want to not attack. Because me dealing 8, them dealing 4, actually, it's not that bad for me. Maybe I should be attacking. It's just in case something happens. Tempest Heart, draw 2, then discard 2, and they have Prowess. And then when you cast a big thing, it puts a 1/1 counter on it. That would have been a cool card to get. I think we saw a copy of that, but this was when we were still trying to play Blue-Black Fairies. I'm glad we ended up in the deck we were in. If anything, I just wish I had moved into it sooner. Okay, another Gatekeeper and Greta. Okay. And then just some 1/1 that you can spend a lot of mana to make a little less bad. So here, I kind of like casting into the Feywilds. I'm going to make sure it doesn't tap me out of blue, because if I draw a Forest, I can keep up Disdainful Stroke. Okay, I didn't draw a land anyway. I think at this point, let's see, 2, 3, 4. So they can trade for this, but I trade with like a huge amount of their board. We can start sending. We have some of their blocks covered. They still missed a land, even with their draw 2, discard 2. Well, I guess we're doing a little bit of preying on someone with mana problems, like we got preyed on last game. I would like more mana also, but oh, they found land number 4 that can cast the Tempest Heart or possibly other spells in their hand. I would like some lands as well, but obviously like 6 is a lot more to work with than 3, literally double. But also like all of our spells are castable as opposed to only some of theirs. All right, what you got? What you got, Sir Stinkfist? And I do expect a bit of a think here, because now that you have all these options, right? What's most important to do? Okay, I don't think I care that much about the hearts. I will take some trades here. Let's go trade. Nope, take 2. Hilda's Crown of Winter. I keep finding that when I kind of need 1 more mana for it to be useful. I would still love to get Troyan into play. There's a lot of spells it could cast. I think I'm going to hold the Disdainful Stroke for this Gatekeeper, which means I don't need it for at least another turn. I think I can go... Okay, I think I'll go Troyan, and I'll use Desperate Party to blank the heart, and that means I can attack for 5 here, because I do need to get them dead. Let's even up this life total a little bit. That's one of the cool things, and we'll hold the crown. If I had 1 more mana and I could tap the heart, then I would play the crown this turn, but since I don't, I won't. I mean, that's one of the big things about large meatballs, right? You just have to do so much less work than these little creatures to get them dead. That's mostly annoying because I needed Troyan for mana next turn. But it's not that big a deal, especially if they're spending 3 mana on this random 1/1. They have another tap land. That's a good card. So I attack for 5. Gross. Instead, I'll go to 5. But okay, now definitely need to play a land. I have 7 mana. They have 6. So yeah, I think we can go play the 3/4. I don't think we can attack though. Because my plan is to Disdainful Stroke the Giant if it comes down, but the problem is this will be a 4/5. So I'll need to block it. Yeah. Hopefully they just cast their Giant this turn. We can trade and then like blank their other creatures. Now they can use the Edge Wall in to get their Giant back, but it will take them like kind of a lot of time because of the mana requirement. Hopefully by some point we get this crown down. Now we're back under pressure again. Okay, so yeah, they get a 1/1 counter on it. We'll just do this now. It doesn't matter. We could technically we can wait for this to resolve. It doesn't really matter. We'll Disdainful Stroke that. Troyan will untap next turn, which gives us a lot more mana. We'll have what 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. And then yes, I'll take that trade, especially now while it's still able to be traded. That will be good later. So we have like what we had 9 mana is what we said. This is 4 and then 5 for the Into the Fey Court. I think that's fine. Do I need to tap something with that though? I guess it's still the most efficient use of my mana. We'll start with Into the Fey Court. In the event that we want to do something else. Oh yeah, we also drew a land. I forgot that was another thing that could happen. Yeah, I guess it's still play the crown. And now we can tap the Otter, block the Fairy. I might as well attack for 3. I'll trade 1 for 3 in this case. They're on 1 card in hand. We're on many cards in hand. There's a little bit that I just can't really do anything about if they attempt it this turn. But not a lot. I guess they can buff their Admirer. I guess when they get to combat, we'll see. If they've triggered Prowess, we'll tap the Otter. If they haven't, we'll tap the Admirer. Oh no, we can't pay for the ward. It's ward 2. Okay, never mind. They're probably just going to pay into the ward. Okay, we can cast an adventure spell, copy it, and you choose new cards. Okay, that is super okay. Yeah. That's actually kind of the best of both worlds, where they don't have the mana to pay into the Admirer, and they also didn't trigger Prowess. Now they can use the Edgewall in to get back their Heart or their Giant. Either one would be pretty good for them. Alright, so we have 3 power in the air. Okay, definitely playing a land this turn. Definitely using Troyan this turn. So I guess we can start... by casting our dragon. Maybe we should have played the Giant as a Giant. Oh, okay. Well, that was enough for them. Yeah, maybe we should have played the Giant first so we can get the trigger off of it. I just keep thinking of like getting the Adventure, but with that one in particular, there was just no world where we were casting the Adventure this turn. This game, rather. Yeah, our opponent just scoop 2. You have another big thing. Like they were running pretty low. I mean, they still could have like Edgewall in. Oh, but the Giant doesn't bounce the big things, and it was just too much to deal with in the air. Yeah, they were just off balance long enough for us to start casting Fadis, and even still, it was like they were making pretty good plays on our life total. This is one of the worst hands we've kept, but we'll keep it. It's worse for the late game, but we have a little bit more protection. Our opponent's on a mulligan. I guess it's partly one of the worst hands because we just don't see 4-land hands very much. We've just been... Oh, that's right. I forgot about plant beans. That's so good. We planting beans. Those beans got planted. All right. That is very good, though, because we can power out this Into the Fey Court. We'll play the Ice Rot Sentry. Almost certainly not going to activate or pay for its triggered ability next turn. Well, definitely not if our opponent doesn't play any creatures. Attack. Aha! Decline. I almost just default to click auto pay, which would have been bad. All right. Sure. I will put it on top. Yeah, it was a little surprising, but also fine. I mean, I don't care about the token. It stops me from bargaining, I guess. Oh, they have their own Into the Fate Court. Cute. We're not ahead on cards. Well, I guess we are because they mulligan, but we are ahead on board. That's for sure. I think I think this game we are going to cast Storm Reading. I kind of want to get this tracker down. So, give me one moment. I hate the spam phone calls. I kind of want to get the tracker down before we get the worm down, or before we start casting these 5-mana spells. But the problem is we're so okay. I think we're just gonna play the worm. The food's not that big a deal this game anyway, just because we don't have. Oh, I guess I could have cast it and then used the mana on this to get 2 more damage in. I don't think I care that much. It's like our life total's not being pressured that much, so I guess these triggers aren't as important. It's just so awkward to cast it, given that we have like 2 beanstalk worms, 2 Troyans, and the Into the Wilds or whatever that card is called that can skip right past 4 mana. Okay, they have 6/7. That's pretty good. They forgot this card has reach. I have done that on stream before. That happens. I think we want to misleading motes that. Yeah, let's. Or we can just tap it down. Let's see, we have 7 mana. We can tap it with our Sentry, crash in for 9. They definitely can't attack back. And then we play like Tracker, and then we try to like Succumb to Cold plus the Sentry. Okay, I think that's the plan. We'll go a little aggro here. They just didn't do anything for so long that it's like, all right, we can get the pressure. We could have kept up moats instead. Maybe that would have been better to like moats a thing, then have Succumb to Cold plus the thing. Yeah. Okay. I guess to fight. Alright, that sucks. That hurts. Alright. What does this thing do? Make a monster roll, and then when you do, it fights. Okay, that's pretty good. You can attack it if you want, but you have to worry about damage, I guess. Yeah, so they chose not to. Succumb to Cold is lethal, right? Because this gets 4 power. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just lethal. Because this doesn't care how a thing gets tapped. It just cares that it gets tapped. And then in the event that they have something to do here, we keep up the misleading modes. Oh, whoops. Okay. I did the thing I was talking about. Well, I guess we have Disdainful Stroke. And not misleading modes. Alright, if you have a thing. Alright. Go to 3. Yeah, I just goofed. They don't have... They just don't untap. I still have 4 power. I have a Disdainful Stroke for a big thing. And then misleading mode. I think I can double motes next turn. No, I can only single motes, but I can motes plus the thing. Yep, get the hell out of here. Thank you. Yeah. This is why Disdainful Stroke is so good. It's so good. Especially unlimited. Alright, let's play it out. We got 1 more win. Or 2 more losses. A maximum of 2 games. Hopefully, just the one. This deck worked out pretty well. There's some stuff that could be better for sure. See, this is a hand where I forget the name of the card, the 2/4 that makes a food when you cast a big thing. This is a hand where that card would be good. We could go 2 into, I don't even know if we'll play Succumb to the Cold, but then play that on 4. Cast the dragon on 6. We actually like only have stuff to do on even mana this game. It's not entirely true because we have Succumbical, but like none of it. The only proactive stuff was on 2 and 6, and I was talking about if we had on 4 as well. All right, we can get a blowout here. It's like, oh, I'm offering the trade, and this seems kind of worth it for them. Oh, okay. Well, they didn't want it, and that's not. And I would have preferred that they blocked, but now they have 4 mana, so we'll see what they want out of this. I didn't see any of these. Maybe I did, but it was early when I wasn't sure if I was in green. I should have taken a look at the new basic lands from this set. They always have new basic lands. I just didn't look. Well, they're thinking. I haven't played a land yet, so either they have some decision there, or they don't have a third land. They also might have just been like AFK for a second, but they hovered their hand just now, so they're probably doing some amount of thinking. If they don't have a land, well, I'm curious what their hand looks like. We've definitely had a bunch of hands where we might not have drawn the lands in time and been able to operate. We have thankfully not been mana screwed this draft, even though our deck is very capable of being mana screwed. Season of Growth. When a creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1, and then when you cast a spell, I misread this. I thought it's when this entered the battlefield, scry 1. It still doesn't seem... Oh, okay. Well, they've got a thing to do with that. Okay, resolve that part. And what is this? Create a monster roll token attached to target creature control. Okay. I mean, that's just a redraw with a 4/3 coming. Yeah, it seems pretty good. Do I succumb to the cold? No, I definitely don't. I'd much rather misleading motes, but no. I'm going to return from the wilds. Because this casts... If we draw a land, this casts the dragon next turn. Do you want a human or a food? I think a human. Actually, the food's probably... The food has been more relevant in most games, and it sacrifices just as well to... Oh, and we need a second horse. It sacrifices just as well to bargain, but it's a lot harder to get off the table. Now, a human could represent more damage or more life, but often hasn't. It has represented no damage most of the time. I think it's like attacked once or twice in the whole draft. Anytime we've had it, but usually it's like it doesn't even chump that much damage. All right. Okay. Hamlet Glutton. That card seems strong. All right. It costs 2 less to cast if it's bargained, and it's a 6/6 trample. Okay, sure. Probably misleading motes that. We don't have the 6th land, so you know, like I don't even know if we'll be able to cast the dragon. Bitter Chill's not bad though. They scry to the top. This thing costs 7. If we misleading modes, they're not casting it for kind of a while. And this kills a draw. Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's do that. It's either killing a draw or it's just gone. It's either exile or like you lose a draw. Yeah, okay. And they don't cast it for a little bit. I would like one more land, obviously, for this dragon. We can cast this 3/4 flyer, sure. In the face of the 6/6, that seemed like a bad idea. Well, we could double block, but that seems really bad. This Bitter Chill would have been a good answer to it as well. This, I think, is better for tempo and effectiveness. And theoretically, like the Bitter Chill can get back the Vanguard if it dies. I'm not really playing to that very much. It's not... First of all, we're a little stuck on mana. I wouldn't say... like, stuck's a kind of a weird word. We don't have infinite mana to play around with. We have to watch what we spend it on. And so, I'm not sure that I'll have the latitude to spend 2 mana on picking this card up out of my graveyard. But it also might not be in the graveyard by the time we need to cast Bitter Chill or whatever. Got kind of a think over there. I mean, at the minimum, they can cast this 4/3. They probably... I mean, I'm sure they had bigger designs for this turn than cast a 4/3. But that... I mean, they can if they want. At a minimum, they have a thing. Okay, well, that's really good for them. Redraws them a card, and it's another thing to bargain the giant with. Okay. The Season of Growth is actually doing work here. If I draw land, which I'd like to, I'll just send the 3/1 and play the dragon. If I don't, which I didn't, we can send the 3/1 anyway. Let's see if they want to take the block. If they do, we still get to Desperate Party. And then, now that they haven't, we just play our 2-1 and pass, planning on casting Succumb to the Cold on the Warden plus probably the Giant. Just gains them 3 life when it comes back in. So I'm doing a lot of work, because that'll be the second time. They were at 8. Did I really hit them 4 times with this? I guess that makes sense. This thing is a 3/5, so we can attack if they want to, but yeah, that's kind of what I expected. Now, doing that pre-combat, I'll let them resolve their stuff. Doing that pre-combat means I get to save 4 life by tapping the Warden. I was going to cast Succumb to the Cold anyway, but now I get to do it pre-combat, where they don't get to attack for 4 either. Oh, cool. So now I cast this Dragon. Attack for 7. Put a lot of pressure on them. Hilda's Crown is very good. We have Crown plus Bitter Chill plus these are currently stunned. We have a lot of pressure right now. It's possible we can get the game done in the next turn or two. If we don't, we'll have to like settle back into fighting for control over the board and like dealing with their stuff. I don't really want to do something like spend Bitter Chill on random like 1/1 flying blocker. I'll do it if I have to. We have 2 4-power creatures and a 3-power Trampler. The thing is, the Trample doesn't matter. They have a 3/5 to block with at present. As a reminder, they've also gained 6 life this game. Goose Mother. All right, make half as many goose foods. And then, okay, that's not a problem. We'll probably bitter chill the Goose Mother. That would have been a cool card to have. I mean, it's a rare, but this is the Goose Mother. This is the Bird Hydra. Look at the goose heads. Mess with the honk, you get the bonk. You know, as they say. All right, scry to the top. They keep scrying to the top, and that is very scary. If I bitter chill this, are they just dead? Looks like they're just dead. But I also have the Crown, so we'll do this. Start here. They had no responses, so yep, they seem very dead. We had our own rare to finish it out. Not that we needed it. The bitter chill was enough. But now it's completely through. And we're done! 7-1. We dropped 1 game to a red-white aggro deck that I think we could have beaten if we didn't get flooded, but such is magic. Like, I don't want to whine about it. Yeah, that draft went insanely well. It was very interesting. It was pretty cool to have a draft where we... Oh, by the way, I try to add my winning draft decks to my... Like, to look at them later. I never look at them later. I don't know why I do this. It was pretty cool that we kept having really, really close games. That's not something that is that frequent in retail limited. And what's the set? I think it's like Wilds. We'll say, yeah, it's Wilds 7-1. Sure, it doesn't really matter. I think that doesn't actually save it that way. I have to do it again. But it was pretty cool that we got to like such close games. That doesn't happen that much in retail limited. Pretty cool that we got games that close, that consistently. There were some squeakers in there, that's for sure. But we ended up getting our... What is this? Agatha, the Vile Cauldron? Activated red-green 1/1. Activated abilities of creatures you control cost X less to activate Rex's Agatha's power. Can't reduce it to less than 1. And then 4 red-green other creatures you control get 1/1 trample and haste until end of turn. That seems cool. I'd be very curious what a EDH deck built around this would look like. I'll probably look into that on my free time. I'm not going to build it. I build too many green decks. Anyway, what I was saying, yeah, it was really cool that we had such tight, close games. It was a lot of fun. Some sweet Magic getting played. It's fun when it's a challenge. Some of it was like, okay, this can be a little less of a challenge. Sometimes you want to you don't want to play like that many really difficult games in a row. Some of them were a little less challenging than others. So sure that we had a little bit of that. We got a couple of easier ones towards the end, which was nice. That one red-white
opponent, I think we could have won. I think like slightly better draws and slightly better decision making. I'm not gonna say it was completely luck. Probably could have gotten there. But thanks so much for watching, everyone. We got some Labor Day discussion and then some Wilds of Eldraine. I'm very excited, if you like Magic content in particular, I'm very excited for what I'm doing tomorrow. And I also have a bit of a surprise for you for Thursday, probably. That's not 100%. So I'll let you know tomorrow if that's the case. But thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.